On the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield, Hawkeye Women's Basketball is on the air. Presented by the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative, delivering the funds the university needs to drive academic and research excellence while optimizing campus utilities for a generation to come. Visit uiowaenergycollaborative.com. Also brought to you by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Honda. To see how Honda crushes the competition, see your local Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest. University of Iowa Healthcare. Changing medicine, changing lives. U.S. Bank. Proud to support Iowa basketball. U.S. Bank. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. Wimmer's Meats. The official hot dog of the Hawkeyes. And by 988. There is hope with a 988 lifeline. Call or text 988 for free. 24/7. This is the University of Iowa Energy Collab pregame show. Powered by the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative. Empowering Hawkeyes to do energy right. Here's Rob Brooks and former Hawkeye Catherine Reynolds.
The first true road test for the Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball team is today. The Knapp Center in Des Moines against the Drake Bulldogs as the Hawkeyes come in with a record of 3-0 and had a really good week, of course, taking care of Virginia Tech in Charlotte last Sunday afternoon, 71-52. And then from start to finish, the Hawkeyes had an excellent outing against Toledo, 94-57, in which they led by 40 midway through the fourth quarter. But the impressive thing about that game was the way the Hawkeyes started. It didn't take 4 or 5 minutes to really get things going at both ends of the floor, as Iowa led 28-10 after one and had 5 players in double figures. The first start of the season for Sydney Fulter. She certainly played about half the game against Virginia Tech, but got the start against Toledo and ended up having 10 points, 5 boards, 4 assists, and no turnovers. And that put Taylor McCabe into that 6th player position, and she certainly responded with 4 threes, the only made threes for the Hawkeyes against the Rockets, as Iowa ended up 4 out of 14. But Hannah Stolke led the way with 17 points and 9 out of 9 from the free throw line, and most of them didn't even hit the rim. She was solid on all 9 of those, as Iowa as a team was 28 of 32 from the free throw line, and they'll need outstanding numbers like that today against a Drake basketball team that won their first 2 games of the year, 84-78 at North Dakota State, and then the home opener against St. Louis, 95-70, and then dropped a contest over in Omaha on the 11th of November, 80-72 against 21-ranked Creighton. If you followed this series, you know, especially in Des Moines, it has been tight, even though Iowa has won 19 of the last 20 contests, including last year inside Carver Hawkeye Arena, 113-90. There was an overtime game here a couple of years ago, which was probably one of the most competitive games Iowa had, especially in the non-conference portion of the schedule. And you know that the Bulldogs will be ready. The Hawks will be too. Both these teams, from a coaching staff, players, know each other well, so you know what to expect as the in-state games begin. Iowa and Drake coming up at the top of the hour. Coming up next on the pregame show, as we count down to tip-off, Catherine Reynolds will have an interview with Kelly Greenway, the assistant coach for Drake, kind of get some insight on the Drake Bulldogs. Of course, Jan Jensen will be along for our pregame chat, and then we'll have lineups and the tip from the Knapp Center just after 2 o'clock. Thanks so much for joining us on this Sunday afternoon. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
Need a little boost? Nothing beats the rich, smooth taste of Quick Star's Karuba coffee. Fresh, delicious, and always brewed just right. Now only 79 cents. any size when you swipe your Quick Rewards card. Pair it with a fresh baked cookie or muffin from the bake sale and level up your day. Quality coffee at an unbeatable price. Stop by, grab a cup, and taste the difference. Only at Quickstar.
Hawkeye fans, get ready for the game with Big Grove. As an official craft brewery of the Iowa Hawkeyes, we're excited to bring you the ultimate game-watching experience. Enjoy fan favorites like Easy Eddie and Citrus Surfer while cheering on the Hawks. Can't make it to Carver? Join us at any of our 4 Iowa locations in Iowa City, Cedar Rapids, Des Moines, and Solon, where you can get out of the cold and enjoy warm hospitality while watching the game. Big Grove Brewery, your official watch party headquarters of the Iowa Hawkeyes all season long. Go Hawks!
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024, U.S. Bank.
Travel Leaders, Destinations Unlimited. We provide experiential travel and vacation planning for Hawkeye fans across the state. Contact one of our destination experts to start planning your next trip at duagency.com.
Step into the action with the Fight for Iowa podcast. Join host Gary Dolphin as he takes you behind the scenes with Hawkeye coaches, athletes, and alumni. Tune in weekly on HawkeyeSports.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and more. Your front row seat to Hawkeye athletics.
Coach, you have a returning core with Dennebeer, Anna Miller, Courtney Becker. Can you just talk about their leadership and what they do to lead your team?
Yeah, I think they're incredible. You know, we kind of have a mix of vocal leadership, by example leadership, and just like setting the tone leadership. So kind of a mix with those three as far as that goes, which is what you want, you know, and everyone feels comfortable looking to them for guidance throughout like practice, freshmen coming in, and then just they always kind of know what's going on in the flow of whether it's pregame or, you know, on the road. Like they're just really great at leading our team.
And what about on the court? We know there's some of their strengths, obviously scoring, assists, block shots, but just talk a little bit about the repertoire on the court.
Yeah, I think they just have a presence about them of confidence. And when you mix in new starters with any team, or you mix in freshmen or transfers, you need that. You need your senior leadership to be radiating confidence, and they bring that consistently every game.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've had freshmen in the starting lineup, first time since Katie started her freshman year. So tell us a little bit about your freshman class.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're mixing in really well. You know, it definitely helps when we have them here for the summer as far as getting acclimated with our offense and what we want to do defensively. But yeah, they've really been just learning, continue to be sponges, and just really figuring out what it is to be a Drake Bulldog. And I think that they're doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, everything that your program stands for. And obviously with this being an in-state game, some rivalry comes to the table. Is that something you talk about, or how do you guys view the rivalry with the Hawkeyes?
I think it's not really anything that needs to be said or talked about. I think we just all feel how exciting this game is and how every game is exciting. But at the end of the day, we got to step on the court, be us, and play exactly how we play, no matter the opponent.
Yeah, definitely. And, Coach, it's 50 years of women's basketball at Drake is being celebrated today. You had an event last night. Can you maybe tell our listeners a little bit about what's been going on here on campus to celebrate 50 years?
Yeah, we had an amazing event last night to celebrate the 50 years of women's basketball here. And the room was just on fire as far as energy about our program, energy about our history, energy about the culture, and, you know, how much time, like, people said the word special last night. Like, you could tally it because it's true. There's, like, no other way to describe. Just from, like, the pioneers who, like, laid the foundation for our program and how far it's come, from facilities to players to just national recognition.
Yeah. And congratulations on the 50 years. And you have some Iowa Hawkeye history yourself. You're student manager for the women's basketball program?
Yes. I went to Iowa from 05 to 08 and was lucky enough to have an opportunity to be a manager for that team, or for those teams. And about senior year, I kind of decided I should probably pay attention a little more about like what they're doing and how things are running a little bit, and just have the realization that I wanted to get into coaching after that experience.
Oh, awesome. Got a Hawkeye wearing blue tonight against the Bulldogs. So thanks, Coach, for your time, and good luck.
Yeah, thanks, Catherine.
Catherine with assistant coach Kelly Greenway as she embarks on a year with the Drake Bulldogs, has some Iowa ties and certainly is enjoying her time here in Des Moines. Both teams back out on the court. Sellout crowd here inside the Knapp Center as we get ready for Iowa and the Drake Bulldogs. For a taste of unique flavors you'll love, stop by Molly's Cupcakes in downtown Iowa City for homemade cupcakes, cookies, cakes, bars, and coffee drinks. Molly's Cupcakes is a proud supporter of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Hawk fans, enjoy your home away from home at Coralville's Homewood Suites and Home 2 Suites by Hilton. Relax in spacious suites with free breakfast, 24-hour fitness center, pool, hot tub, and more. Perfectly located for your Hawkeye visit. We'll be back with Jan Jensen. Get her comments before Iowa and Drake on the pregame show from the Knapp Center. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from their field.
You might think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. Corn can even fuel your drive to watch the Hawkeyes play when you choose Unleaded 88. It's a fuel that's cheaper, cleaner, and greener. Plus, it's homegrown, making Unleaded 88 the clear choice at the pump and totally worth the hype. So as you head to cheer on the Hawkeyes this season, don't just fuel up. Pump it up with Unleaded 88. Find Unleaded 88 at a station near you. Go to iowacorn.org/88.
Did you know that UI uses the same amount of energy as all the rest of Iowa City? That's why we have our own power plant, and we're committed to making it clean. By 2025, we'll rely completely on climate-friendly, alternative fuels. Deep in the boiler rooms, engineers from the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative are optimizing the power plant so it can handle these new fuels more efficiently. Learn more about it at uiowaenergycollaborative.com. That's uiowaenergycollaborative.com.
Our mission at Oak Knoll is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through Life Care. I'm Steve Rowe, CEO. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served the Iowa City area for 57 years. Oak Knoll is located near University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hancher Auditorium, and downtown Iowa City. Visit our website at oakknoll.com to learn more. We're a proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Go Hawks!
Hey there, sports fans. Hungry for a legendary experience? Look no further than Bumps Restaurants, proudly named after the legendary Bump Elliott. Nestled right at the Finkbine Golf Course on Melrose Avenue, Bumps is your go-to spot for mouth-watering meals. Present your ticket from today's game at Bumps and get a buy one appetizer, get the second appetizer free deal. Offer good through the next home game. See you soon off Melrose Avenue at the Finkbine Golf Course. Bumps Restaurant, a legendary place with legendary food.
Welcome back to the Knapp Center on the campus of Drake University as we get set for the Hawkeyes and the Bulldogs. Iowa at 3-0, Drake at 2-1. Shootaround with Jan Jensen is presented by Oak Knoll, as Oak Knoll's mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through Life Care, a not-for-profit life plan community serving the Iowa City area for 57 years. Oak Knoll is conveniently located near University of Iowa Healthcare Campus, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, and of course downtown Iowa City. A proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Visit oakknoll.com to learn more. Well, Jan, one thing about the Toledo game that was certainly impressive to me was the fast start. It didn't take 5 or 6 minutes to get things going. It seemed like on both ends of the floor, the Hawks came ready to play.
They did. I love that. And I felt like their energy right from the start, and they were sharing the ball, and they were moving fast. And the start just kind of kept into the middle and into the end. It was a pretty sound all-around game. Now, granted, Toledo wasn't very good, but sometimes you can play down to the level of your competition. So I thought the start that led to the finish was really good.
Taylor McCabe came off the bench, hit 4 threes. Is that a role she's kind of built for right now?
Yeah, you know, Taylor is one of the most sharpest shooters that I've seen. And I'm trying to, you know, is it best to start with that or bring that off the bench? So when Sid got healthy again, we just felt bringing in a sharp shooter like that to give you a little burst of energy and momentum coming off the bench. So she is built for that role, and I really respect and love about Taylor is, they're all disappointed if they don't start, but they also understand that they can have great minutes and great roles and be part of something, special once again. And I think Taylor's really embraced that.
You always talk about, starting, but it's about minutes and who's on the court at the end, too, that matters as well.
Well, I really, all my years as an assistant, too, I said, look, the world glamorizes starting. I said, you want to be a finisher. At the end of the game, like when there's, when it's on the line, if you're right on the verge of starting, the role that you're going to play, if you play your cards right, you're going to be a finisher, and it's really fun to be on the floor at the end of a really, great win. So I've really tried to, all our careers, my career is just try to emphasize being ready when your number's called and being a part of it. And, some people get to start all 4 years, but that's really rare. So I feel like this team has really embraced it, and you want them to be disappointed when they don't start. I mean, if they're not disappointed when they don't start, then you're not doing it right either. But you have to get them to understand that the pride to be associated with it and to fulfill the role will still be fulfilling personally. And I think that we've been able to strike that balance at least 3 games in.
28 of 32 from the line. Hannah Stalkey, 9 for 9.
Yeah.
She hasn't even hit the rim anymore on free throws.
Well, I hope that's the case. It's she's come so far. I'd love that to be a more of a norm. And I think she has worked on it. I think she is more confident. But there's one thing to hit free throws when you're up 40 and when you're either down 2 or tied or up 1 with seconds left. So what you just got to hope is all the work that she's put in that's given her the confidence to do it when there's no stress is that muscle memory and brain memory emotionally is going to be able to come through, and she's going to shoot a great percentage when we need it most.
It's the Hawks and the Drake Bulldogs from the Knapp Center this afternoon. We'll talk about Drake when we come back. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
Hi, I'm Gary Dolphin, and if you want your home to be exceptionally comfortable during these cold Iowa winters and hot, humid summers, you need to turn to Dave Lennox and your local Lennox home comfort specialist. Lennox has been serving Iowa consumers since 1895, when Dave Lennox built his first furnace in Marshalltown, and Lennox is still building its high-efficiency furnaces and air conditioners there today. For the best home comfort system you can buy, it's Lennox and your local Lennox dealer. Lennox and the Hawkeyes. Now there's a winning combination.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide, experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, or just needs someone to listen, 988 provides a direct connection to free, confidential, and compassionate support. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. You are not alone. For 24/7 support, call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
Honda's biggest event is back. Happy Honda Days are here with our best savings of the year. All remaining 24s must go. Save thousands with 1.9% financing. Award-winning Honda cars, SUVs, trucks, vans, hybrids, and EVs are all in stock, like the 2024 Honda Accord, now with low 1.9% APR financing. Do not miss it. To have Happy Honda Days, search your local Honda dealer. See dealer for financing details for well-qualified buyers. Offer ends 1/2/25.
Well, Jan, a big road test, as we well know, this is a very difficult place to play. There's been some really good Iowa teams. That one of the toughest non-conference games of the year seems to be right here. Drake will be ready, and I know the Hawks will be too. But this is a good early season test and really starts off the in-state games, doesn't it?
It really does. I mean, it's always been a respected rivalry, right? over all the years, we've had a good rapport with the coaches, and certainly now Allison Pullman. I'm so excited for her because she's, kind of had the blueprint. She got to be the head coach when she was an assistant and got elevated and has done a great, great job.
And could really play, too.
Yeah, she could play. I wrote her a few recruiting letters, too. But at the end of the day, it's that in-state rivalry. It's that in-state pride. We recruit a lot of the same kids up until a point. So most of the kids that are starting on Drake's roster, I've written them a letter, right? And there's just, I'd like to think, a lot of mutual respect. They want to play, not so much, I hope not out of spite, that maybe they didn't get the offer or didn't choose us, but just out of respect. And then it's just a fun environment, right? We're so fortunate in this state that people care about women's basketball, and Drake is having their 50th year reunion. We had a great celebration yesterday, and I, along with Jenny Fitzgerald and Lisa Bluter, were asked to attend, along with every other alumni. But Lisa and I were on different panels, right? Just a way to put a few people up on stage with different ties. And there was representation from 1974 when that first team was there to last year's team. So it was a very unique perspective for me because I was, I am very proud of my Drake upbringing, if you will, and it's just a great place, right? But I had former teammates, a lot of former players, but also in attendance with the current team. So there I'm like, oh my gosh, can this get any more complicated in my mind? But they're all really great kids. It's a great staff. And in fact, Kelly Terrell, I think her last name is Greenway now, she was our manager. And so she was a manager for us and then started her coaching path, ended up being the head coach at Grandview, and then took the Drake assistant job. So a lot of Iowa ties.
No doubt about it. And Katie Dinnebeer and Anna Miller, two outstanding players. Got to stop them today.
Oh, must. I loved Dinnebeer when, she was at Hawkeyes and, Miller. Oh boy, they're as good as they get. Honestly,
hate to bring it up.
I know, but we do. We have to contain those guys. Katie Dinnebeer, she can just go coast to coast on you a lot. She's got a nice three. Her finishes are great. She posts up too. A lot of times, guards. It doesn't matter how tall you are, but she's not even a big guard. She does a great job of posting up, and that's different. And then Anna Miller just runs the floor like a gazelle, and a nice post player. Not the size typically, but then if they don't get that early action in the break, they go out into a 5-out, and that's what I call small ball. And that's always a challenge for a team like ours because we have a true center in Addie O'Grady or an Ava Hayden. Now, Hannah can play, the 5 and the 4, and she's a smaller center as well. But if you want to go with your bigs, it's really weird for them out there to handle flares and to, show on a down screen. That's not usually what they do when they're out in the perimeter. So we will definitely have our hands full because they're well coached and they're really good players.
Well, Jan, let's go get the Bulldogs today.
Let's do it. Thank you much. Go Hawks.
Jan Jensen on the pregame show, back with more from the Knapp Center after the break. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from their field.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Treat yourself to one of our award-winning entrees at the Machine Shed. Come get your hands around one of our famous pork tenderloins, our most popular sandwich, served either deep-fried golden brown or unbreaded and grilled. Or try our roasted stuffed Iowa chop that is stuffed with a warm apple raisin dressing and glazed with an apple whiskey sauce. Trust me, you won't regret it. This is Jeff Grunder, and we can't wait to have you over for dinner at the Machine Shed.
I-80 in Hickman Road, Urbandale, and I-80 and Northwest Boulevard, Davenport.
When you live in the Midwest, you're accustomed to leading the nation in certain things, from corn and pork production to eggs and soybeans. And now we're adding another product to that list, clean, renewable wind energy. By investing in wind turbines and partnering with area farmers and landowners, MidAmerican Energy is harvesting wind power that's homegrown right in our very own backyard, which not only provides customers with low, stable energy rates, but also the support to make our Midwest communities safer and stronger.
Our mission at Oak Knoll is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, CEO. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served the Iowa City area for 57 years. Oak Knoll is located near University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hancher Auditorium, and downtown Iowa City. Visit our website at oakknoll.com to learn more. We're a proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Go Hawks!
Everybody filing in as the Knapp Center is sold out this Sunday afternoon, getting ready for Iowa and the Drake Bulldogs. For Drake, coming off a tough loss at Creighton, 80-72. And Iowa, no problem with Toledo last Wednesday inside Carver Hawkeye Arena, 94-57. Starting lineups are presented by Melrose Meadows. Are you tired of cooking, cleaning, or just being alone? Check out Melrose Meadows, voted Iowa City's best retirement community, with underground parking, a heated pool, and endless opportunities to stay fit and social. To learn more, visit melrosemeadows.com. The Bulldogs will start Grace Knutson, a freshman from Cedar Falls, as she's just fallen right into that starting lineup since practice opened. You heard Jan Jensen talk about Katie Dinnebeer, last year's MVC Player of the Year, preseason in that category this year. A 5'8" senior from Hawkeyes High School, averaging 13 points a game. 6'3" senior from Rochester, Minnesota, Anna Miller, leading scorer for the Bulldogs at 21-3. and also 12 boards per contest. The point guard is Ava Hawthorne. She's a 5'9" junior out of Ames, Iowa, Gilbert High School, averaging 7.7. Courtney Becker from Fountain City, Wisconsin, a 6-foot graduate student, averaging 15.3 and 7.7 boards a contest. The Hawkeyes will counter with Hannah Stolke, averaging 14 points and 7.3 rebounds. Sydney Falter, averaging 8 per contest. Addie O'Grady in the middle at 13.3, coming off of 10 against Toledo. In the backcourt, we'll have Kylie Feuerbach, 8.7, 5.3 rebounds. Also has 10 assists on the young season. And Lucy Olson, last year's third leading scorer in the country, the transfer from Villanova, coming off of 14 against Toledo. Catherine will have her keys to a Hawkeye victory and will tip it off from the Knapp Center after the break. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
You might think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. Corn can even fuel your drive to watch the Hawkeyes play when you choose Unleaded 88. It's a fuel that's cheaper, cleaner, and greener. Plus, it's homegrown, making Unleaded 88 the clear choice at the pump and totally worth the hype. So as you head to cheer on the Hawkeyes this season, don't just fuel up. Pump it up with Unleaded 88. Find Unleaded 88 at a station near you. Go to iowacorn.org/88.
We know you're a fan, but is Hawkeye pride in your blood? Here's your chance to prove it. This season, Abbott and the Big Ten are kicking off the largest blood donation competition of our lifetime to fight one of the worst blood shortages in a generation. Simply visit bigten.org/Abbott to sign up for the We Give blood drive and help settle once and for all that the Hawkeyes give the most spirit. Again, visit bigten.org/Abbott to sign up.
Hey there, sports fans. Hungry for a legendary experience? Look no further than Bumps Restaurants, proudly named after the legendary Bump Elliott. Nestled right at the Finkbine Golf Course on Melrose Avenue, Bumps is your go-to spot for mouth-watering meals. Present your ticket from today's game at Bumps and get a buy one appetizer, get the second appetizer free deal. Offer good through the next home game. See you soon off Melrose Avenue at the Finkbine Golf Course. Bumps Restaurant, a legendary place with legendary food.
Travel Leaders, Destinations Unlimited. We provide experiential travel and vacation planning for Hawkeye fans across the state. Contact one of our destination experts to start planning your next trip at duagency.com.
The Iowa Hawkeyes are officially bowl eligible. Sign up at HawkeyeSports.com/Bowl Central. When the game is announced, you'll immediately receive information on game tickets, air travel, and hotel. Presented by Travel Leaders, Destinations Unlimited, Iowa's official bowl tour.
The Hawks and the Bulldogs from the Knapp Center. U.S. Bank is a proud sponsor of the Iowa Hawkeyes. We're in it with you for the good stuff and all the hard work it takes to get there, because together there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Before today's national anthem, let's pause 10 seconds for station ID. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball. Hawkeyes lead the series 30-25, won 19 of the last 20. Drake coming off back-to-back MVC championships. And Allison Pullman now in her fourth year, 73 victories, 31 losses. And here is this afternoon's national anthem.
This afternoon's matchup features the visiting Iowa Hawkeyes and your own our national anthem.
Starting lineups coming up will be introduced here inside a sold-out Knapp Center, and that brings us to the keys to the game. Catherine, what do the Hawkeyes have to do this afternoon to get victory number 4?
Well, Rob, like you heard Coach Jensen say in the pregame, it starts and ends with Anna Miller and Katie Dennebier for Drake. Dennebier was the Conference Player of the Year on the Missouri Valley, winning Drake Bulldogs last season, and brings a lot of experience to the court for the Bulldogs. And Miller herself has had a great season thus far, averaging 21 points a game. And even more impressive maybe is her block shots. And so that's something, that jumping into the next key is, I think, it's composure on the offensive end for Iowa. Drake is a team that likes to switch up their defenses throughout the course of the game, so you'll likely see them in a sort of a matchup zone after after a score for them, and they'll see them in a player-to-player defense after a miss. So that's something that Iowa has to adjust to on the fly throughout the course of the game. A loud atmosphere, and again, a center in the middle of the paint who wants to block shots. So you get in there, you shot fake, and look for a second or third option. And lastly, it's discipline on the defensive end. That's starting with transition defense. Drake's a team that loves to run the floor, and their bigs love to run the floor, and so that is sometimes a challenge for the opponent, especially for bigs who aren't necessarily used to being the first one down the floor. Secondly, they run a motion offense where there's 5 people constantly moving, lots of screening action, lots of cutting action. What they're trying to do is create confusion for the defense. And so that's why I say Iowa needs to have discipline and understand they might get mixed up a little bit, but that's where your communication kicks in. And if you have to switch, you switch and you go from there. So offensive composure, defensive discipline, and containing the stars of this Drake team.
And Catherine, you have to like the way this Iowa women's basketball team has played defense here early on. And I thought that was a key thing against Toledo where, hey, you knew you were going to win the game, but it's how do you look and what's the intensity, and it was there for all 40 minutes.
Absolutely, and I think across the board, even starting with the first exhibition game of the season, you've seen maybe an emphasis on the defensive end of the floor for the Hawkeyes that maybe necessarily hasn't been totally a strength over the last several seasons. So in a game like this, a rivalry game where you know Drake is up for the occasion, that's where you fall back on your defense. You know, the event shots aren't falling or things aren't always going your way. But to your point, 40 minutes of hard defense makes for a long night for Drake, and I think that's something that Iowa really is trying to hang their hat on this season.
And for the freshmen, who will get some time this afternoon, really their first college true road trip.
Yeah, and first true road trip, you know, with that game against Virginia Tech being on a neutral floor. And, you know, it's funny you mentioned that. Something Coach Jensen talked about with the team at their shoot-around this morning was that this was their first true road game. And, you know, you tell your freshmen that, and quite frankly, I don't think they really know what that means until the ball is thrown up there and the clock starts ticking. So this is a great test for them. And although it is a sold-out crowd, there's a lot of black and gold in here.
Always.
Exactly. And, you know, even this Drake fan base, they want to see a good basketball game, and there's lots of in-state support. So, yeah, for a freshman core on the Hawkeye side of things that you're seeing a lot of minutes from, I think this is a great test and great exposure for them in the non-conference that'll prepare them for the Big Ten season.
Today's opening tip is brought to you by Farmers State Bank. Earn $250 when you open an eligible checking account at the Tiffin branch or online. Get rewarded for banking with FSB. Visit myfsbonline.com for complete details. Subject to approval. Minimum $50 deposit. Requires e-statements and direct deposit. Member FDIC. Hawkeyes in the traveling black uniforms, trimmed in gold and white. The block Iowa in gold across the front with the gold numbers. The Bulldogs kind of been a little bit of the throwback light blue uniforms that both the men's and women's teams have worn on special occasions. And this being the 50th year anniversary of women's basketball at Drake, they've got them on today. Miller and O'Grady will jump. And the ball is in the air. O'Grady the tip off the right hand of Feuerbach into the hands of Dinnebier. Drake will have the opening possession. Basket to our left. Hawthorne gets it to the high post area. That's Knutson. There's that motion offense side to side that Catherine talked about. Feuerbach on Dinnebier. And here's a steal by Olsen on the right wing. Lobs a pass down court to Addie O'Grady. Layup off the window is good.
Beautiful. And there's that defense you talked about, Rob. A point of emphasis. Defense leading to offense for Iowa.
Knutson three. Swishes it in transition from the left wing. And the Hawkeyes looking for a sideline break. Lost control of the ball. Out of bounds right in front of the Drake Bulldogs, and that's something that Drake loves to do, shoot that three in transition.
Absolutely. They're looking to run and gun before you're back and your defense is set, so you have to be tight on your opponent, high hands, and expect those early threes from Drake. There's not really any shot they don't like.
Here's Dinnebier in between the circles. Knutson left wing, a Fulter on her outside the arc. Dinnebier for three straight away, rattles it in.
It's an area of Dinnebier's game that's really improved over her 4 years is her three-point shooting ability. She's always been able to get to the rim, and now she's added that consistency from three.
Here's Stuelke on the right wing. Outside the arc, Olsen in between the circles. Drake comes out in a man-to-man defense. Left side of Fulter. Now Olsen, left to the top of the key inside Stuelke. Bounce pass inside. Beautifully done to an open Addie O'Grady.
Great patience by the Iowa offense. A little bit of a funky defensive look there from Drake. Iowa took their time, dissected it, and found an open Addie O'Grady on the block.
Yeah, they kind of go back and forth, man, zone, and who knows what else they'll throw at the Hawkeyes today. Ball tipped by Feuerbach. Into the hands of Dinnebier. She'll set things up in between the circles. Left side, Ava Hawthorne. Hasn't played much before this year. Dinnebier gets a screen, drives down the right side, kicks it back out. Miller for three. Rimming no. Ball loose and dug up by Kylie Feuerbach. Kylie's just done a great job rebounding so far this year. 6-4 Bulldogs. Hawkeyes with the basketball. Now Fulter, free throw line extended right. Pulls up her dribble. Now Olsen in between the circles. Feeds it left side. Feuerbach, Stolke, top of the key. 10 to shoot for the Hawkeyes as they show some patience. That was part of the game plan. Olsen has it taken away in the paint by Dinnebier. And then going after it. See if she does pick up the foul on a reach after great defense by Katie Dinnebier.
Yeah, Drake's defense doing just enough to keep Iowa a little bit uncomfortable with their, they don't close out all the way on you. There's a little bit of space where you don't really want to shoot it. You don't really want to put it on the floor. And then I think that's where you saw Olsen get a bit uncomfortable with the basketball on the bounce there.
Abby Olsma, transfer from Illinois State, comes in. First player off the bench for the Bulldogs. Drake up 2 with the basketball. Dinnebier fakes a 3, drives paint. Tried to get a pass off the left side. Batted around and then into the hands of Olsma, and she knocks down a three-pointer, and she's a 43% three-point shooter. That's what she does coming off the Drake bench.
And it never really fails, does it, Rob, that Drake finds a way to just be hot from 3 every time the Hawkeyes enter this building.
Only shot 30% so far this year. Nice pass by Stolke across the lane on the right side to Addie O'Grady, and she has all 6 Hawkeye points.
And that's an advantage for Iowa all evening long, is getting the ball inside. Anna Miller can't afford to foul, and they don't have a lot of depth at the post position.
So 3 threes for Drake, and Addie O'Grady has 6 points. Miller gets it into the corner. Olsma drives paint, fakes, hands it off to Miller in the paint. Turnaround shot is short from 6 feet, and a Fulter gets the rebound. Hawkeyes down 3 with the basketball. Sydney on the left wing outside the arc, gets it to O'Grady, a block. About a foot off the block, now back to Stolke. She drives paint, goes up strong with the right hand off the window and gets her first basket.
And I like that matchup for Stolke when she's got Courtney Becker on her. I think she's got speed and strength advantage.
And Dinnebier left wide open for a 3 in transition left wing and drills her second.
Yeah, you have to know where she is at all times. Dinnebier is lethal, whether it's getting to the rim or shooting from 3, and she's got all the confidence in the world, which makes her that much more dangerous.
4 threes for the Bulldogs to start the game. They're up 4. Here's Olsen at the free throw line. Slips it off to O'Grady. Jumper is good just outside the paint on the left side.
How comfortable does O'Grady look out here, Rob?
And then right back is Courtney Becker running the court. And she receives the pass and lays it up and in. 14-10 in a back and forth game. We always seem to have a high scoring game with these 2 teams. Here's Olsen at the top of the key. Now into the corner. Jumper is up and no good. Fulter missed it, but there's the rebound and putback by Addie O'Grady, who has 10. Remember, she was 9 for 9 from the floor. Career high 18 points against Virginia Tech.
Yeah, math's not a strong suit, but I can do that one. 9 for 9, 100%, and she's off to an outstanding start here today.
And the Bulldogs turn it over as Dinnebier tried to slice a pass down on the block to Anna Miller, and it goes out of bounds, and Taylor McCabe in for the Hawkeyes.
Sort of an interesting game for Taylor, as her younger sister Peyton is now a freshman on this Drake roster, and so that's always, I think a little bit fun, a little bit strange of a feeling, but exciting for the McCabe family nonetheless.
Yeah, we've seen that before with the Myers. Inside, O'Grady goes to work again and lays it up, this time with the left hand. Addie O'Grady with 12. 14-14. The Hawks have tied it up. Drake with the basketball. Here's Dinnebier on the left wing. Gives it off to Taylor into the game. Her three-pointer no good straight away, as the Hawkeyes with Stolke secure the rebound. Down court. Inside, O'Grady again lays it up and in over Taylor after the nice entry pass by Sydney Fulter.
You know, you are so excited to see this from O'Grady. It's kind of one of those things you always felt like was in there, and it's just a matter of her kind of unleashing her inner potential, and so far so good.
Well, she's on pace to have about 50 tonight. And the Hawks grab a 2-point advantage. Dinnebier at the free throw line. Now pulls up her dribble, gets it into the corner. Fornshell, 3, knocks it down.
Another 3 for Drake. You know, that's something in their recruiting that they're looking for. They want players 1 through 5 who can stretch the floor and shoot the 3, and that's exactly what you see, sort of a vintage Drake performance thus far.
Fulter, 3-pointer left wing, couldn't get it to go. Drake back in the front court. Shot is up and no good by Taylor. Missed a 3-pointer straight away. Hawks corral the rebound. And a pass attempt inside to O'Grady from McCabe is knocked away by the Bulldogs. In transition, Dinnebier goes strong to the rim. Foul is going to be called on Sydney Fulter. That'll be her first. Drake loves to get up and down the court.
Yeah, they do it in a speedy way. They don't give you no time to get back. They're getting that rebound or that turnover, and they're going the other direction. So you really have to be on it and find your matchup and communicate quickly.
Well, we have time out on the court and board. Do we need one?
Yeah, frenetic pace here to start the game. It was 6.5 minutes, went by in a flash.
Always assume a down power line is energized. Stay far away and call 911. Get more safety tips at MidAmericanEnergy.com. Don't forget that you can join the Swarm and team up with Iowa athletes to support local charities. Make a difference today. Visit iowaswarm.com to learn more. 3:32 left to go in the first. Drake 17, Iowa 16. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Honda's biggest event is back. Happy Honda Days are here with our best savings of the year. All remaining 24s must go. Save thousands with 1.9% financing. Award-winning Honda cars, SUVs, trucks, vans, hybrids, and EVs are all in stock, like the 2024 Honda Accord, now with low 1.9% APR financing. Do not miss it. To have Happy Honda Days, search your local Honda dealer. See dealer for financing details for well-qualified buyers. Offer ends 1/2/25.
Hey, Hawkeyes, while your harder-working class are on the court, there's a team behind the scenes making sure that the power keeps going, the water keeps flowing, and the temps inside are just right. Introducing the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative. The collaborative is a public-private partnership between UI, NG, and Meridium. It delivers the funds UI needs to drive our academic and research excellence while optimizing campus utilities for a generation to come. Check it out at uiowaenergycollaborative.com.
You're listening to coverage of Hawkeye women's basketball, powered by the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative, empowering Hawkeyes to do energy right.
Welcome back inside the Knapp Center on the campus of Drake University. Rob Brooks, Catherine Reynolds, and hop the start for Addie O'Grady with 14 points on 7 of 7 from the floor. Drake, hot from 3, 5 out of 8.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what jumps off the page at you is Drake already taking 8 threes, which is impressive in itself, but making 5 of them, putting them about 63%. But more importantly, I think for Iowa's perspective, it's their transition defense and getting back in transition, finding the shooters, and kind of working from the outside in rather than the inside out, because that's what where they're hurting us from right now is the three-point line.
After the Fulter foul, Katie Dinnebier at the line, knocks both of them right through, so she's off to a quick start with 8, had 15 against Creighton. She's an 84.9 career free throw shooter.
Pretty much automatic.
Here's Olsen in the front court. Drake by 3, Hawkeyes with a basketball. Olsen gets it back from Stolke on the right side, fires a three-pointer and drills it off the dribble.
Yeah, good look for Olsen. A little bit, again, out of rhythm a little bit, I think, but she's still adjusting to this Drake defense, one that, she's not familiar with, coming from, Villanova, her first time facing Drake. But I think as she gets into the flow of the game, she'll continue to be more comfortable and look just like her Olsen self.
Drake working the ball around the arc. Here's Knutson, and a whistle away from the ball as Miller hit the deck. Stolke will pick up her first. That's the team's second, so it'll be ball possession for Drake as we are tied at 19, 2:50 left to go first quarter. Here's Miller, fakes a three on the left wing. Gets it back to Hawthorne, reverses the ball. Now back to Miller, open three, straight away, no good. And McCabe hustles after the rebound, brings it into the front court. Now Olsen, free throw line extended right. Hawthorne comes out on her. Lucy bounce pass, Stolke, right block, takes one dribble, spins, goes up and under, beautiful move, and missed the left-handed layup.
Like you said though, Rob, it was a really beautiful move, and you're seeing Stolke gain some confidence down there on the block. I think they'll go back to that matchup, especially with Miller on Stolke.
And Miller, driving down the right side of the lane, took an extra step, kind of lost her balance, and is called for traveling in a 19-19 contest.
Yeah, it seems like things have slowed down a little bit from the frenetic pace
Needed
we saw
to.
for the first few minutes. Yeah, both teams amped up to get the game going, and now you're seeing them kind of hit their stride and work into their offenses.
That wasn't going to last for 40 minutes. Stolke at the free throw line, drives down the left side. Left-handed layup is short, but she is fouled in the act of shooting and will be at the free throw line to shoot a pair, where she was 9 for 9 against Toledo.
Yeah, Rob, as you've talked about plenty of times, is Hannah Stolke's improvement from the free throw line, and something that's really encouraging. Every time I talk about it, we're bound to have what just happened. She misses the front end here, but definitely an area of Stolke's game that she's taken a lot of pride in improving.
Miller commits the foul, her first. Second one swishes right through for Hannah Stolke, so she has 3, and the Hawkeyes go up by 1. 20-19. Just over 2 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Stremlow in for the Hawkeyes. Her first appearance. Drake basketball. Basket to our left. Here's Dinnebeer in between the circles. Olsen out on her. Now Alsma gets it on the left wing to Knutson. She drives. Her short jumper is up and no good. Rebound by Taylor Stremlow. Brings it into the front court on the right wing. Also, Tegan Mullaney into the game. Left side, Olsen drives the baseline, and contact and a foul on Dinnebeer.
Well, I like the aggressive take there from Olsen. She had the baseline cleared out for her, the one-on-one situation with Dinnebeer. And anytime they can draw fouls on Dinnebeer and Miller in particular, that's a good thing. And the more that they're on the bench, the better.
Feuerbach in for McCabe. Lucy Olsen at the free throw line, short on the first. Iowa by 1.
Not something you see really often either from Olsen is missed free throws.
Well, the Hawks were 28 of 32 from the line against Toledo. Second one right through. Lucy has 4. She had 14 against the Rockets. Iowa by 2. 1:30 left to go first quarter. Knutson gets it to Dinnebeer. Keeps that dribble going to the right side. Knutson back in between the circles. Becker, left wing. Mullaney comes out on her. Hawkeyes doing a good job trying to get out on shooters, but then left Knutson wide open. Her three-pointer no good. Rebound by Miller, and a foul is going to be called on Tegan Mullaney.
Offensive rebounds are backbreakers, because not only do you give them a second opportunity, but you expose yourself to what just happened, which is drawing fouls. What Mullaney just did there, but Anna Miller is extremely active on the offensive glass, and you just see her be relentless. Got loose from O'Grady and led to the O board.
First free throw is good. That's Miller's first point, averaging 21-3. She had 18 and 14 boards against the Blue Jays last time out. Second one, perfect. Good rotation on both of those, and we're tied at 21. Hawks in the front court, Olsen in between the circles. Stremlow to Mullaney, three-pointer deep in the corner. Tegan hasn't been able to get that three-pointer to go yet.
Now that'll come, especially with the confidence that she shoots the ball. That's what she can't do, is lose confidence, but she's a great shooter.
Miller gets free underneath. Lob pass to her, up and good. And a lob pass, Stremlo to Mulaney, and she couldn't handle it underneath the basket as the Hawkeyes had a fast break opportunity. Drake basketball. Bulldogs up 2 with 51 seconds left to go in the first.
Unfortunate for that to fall through Mulaney's hands, but you love to see the transition push, especially freshman to freshman. Something that Iowa will continue to go back to is try to give Drake a taste of their own medicine.
Dinnebier gets into the paint, now kicks it back outside to Hawthorne. And now a jumper by Alsma is up and no good. Mid-range jumper wouldn't go. Another offensive rebound for the Bulldogs, and contact. And a foul, a blocking foul will be called on the Hawkeyes. And Dinnebier will be at the free throw line.
Feels like since the media timeout, the whistle really picked up, and all of a sudden lots of trips to the free throw line, which can sometimes hurt your flow a little bit. You know, not necessarily saying they were bad calls, but when it gets a little ticky-tacky, it becomes really difficult to get within a flow of an offense.
Well, Jan Jensen describing to the officials what she saw on a couple of different occasions, and putting Dinnebier at the line, that's pretty much an automatic 2 as she makes the first one.
Hey, bright side, 2's less than 3, which is what Drake came out of the gates doing.
Dinnebier connects on the second. She has 10. And Drake goes up 25-21 with 25 seconds left to go. About 3 seconds the differential in shot clock, game clock. Olsen in between the circles, waiting for the clock to go under 10. Double high post screen. Olsen gets it to Mulaney, and she'll turn and fire a 3 in and out left wing. Ball batted around. Drake picks it up with 2 seconds. Half court shot up and too strong off the window. And that will do it for quarter number 1. Dinnebier had a good look. Always scared when she puts it up.
I thought it was going in, to be honest with you, but luckily went off the glass a little strong to the right.
So after 1, Drake 25. Iowa 21 in a seesaw first 10 minutes at the game or at home. Wimmers Premium Quality Hot Dogs and Sausages will score with family and friends. Take the highest quality beef and pork, combine it with natural spices, and you get the best tasting Midwestern hot dog. Wimmers, the official hot dog of the Hawkeyes. The Iowa Lottery Terrace at Carver Hawkeye Arena is back, and you could see the Hawkeyes take on the Iowa State Cyclones like a VIP. Find Hawkeye scratch tickets today at a retailer near you and enter non-winning tickets into the prize zone. Visit ialottery.com/VIP for details. We have played 1 inside the Knapp Center. Drake 25, Iowa 21. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
Hey Hawk fans, ready to elevate your game day experience? Introducing Daydreamer Cannabis Infused Beverages. Made locally in North Liberty, Iowa, Daydreamer is your all-natural, low-calorie lifestyle beverage made with real fruit. It's light, healthy, and alcohol-free. Just what you need to keep you relaxed when the game heats up. So grab yourself a Daydreamer. Sip local and dream big. As always, enjoy responsibly. Visit us online at enjoydaydreamer.com.
Are you ready to take a sweet trip down memory lane? Come on, let's head straight to the bake sale, only at Quick Star. Craving those fresh, oven-baked cookies like Grandma used to make? The Quickery's got them, baked with love and a touch of that old-fashioned goodness. In a rush? Grab a muffin for just $1.19. A perfect on-the-go treat. From glazers to cake donuts. Indulge at the bake sale. So what are you waiting for? Treat yourself, only at Quick Star.
Treat yourself to one of our award-winning entrees at the Machine Shed. Come get your hands around one of our famous pork tenderloins, our most popular sandwich, served either deep-fried golden brown or unbreaded and grilled. Or try our roasted stuffed Iowa chop that is stuffed with a warm apple raisin dressing and glazed with an apple whiskey sauce. Trust me, you won't regret it. This is Jeff Grunder, and we can't wait to have you over for dinner at the Machine Shed.
I-80 in Hickman Road, Urbandale, and I-80 and Northwest Boulevard, Davenport.
Getting set for the second quarter from the Knapp Center. It is Drake 25, Iowa 21. Story for the Hawkeyes in the first quarter. Andy O'Grady with 14 points, 7 out of 7. Drake 5 out of 11 from 3, 6 out of 6 from the free throw line.
Yeah, and you look at the stat sheet, what you see for Drake is that they've scored 10 points off of Iowa's turnovers. So that's something that, it's kind of a self-inflicted wound when you turn the ball over and allow for the other team to score. And then secondly is second chance points, giving up too many offensive rebounds to Drake at the moment, and something that I'm sure they talked about in that timeout.
And down the right side of the lane, Hannah Stuelke goes up strong and finishes off the window quickly on Iowa's first possession. Pull Iowa to within 2. Knutson on the right wing. Fornshell back into the game, feeds it right side. Hawthorne drills a 3 from the right wing.
And these Drake players, just the confidence they exude in this Iowa game, it never ceases to amaze me. I think after every single made 3, you've seen them hold their follow through and put a 3 up in the air, which, tells you, as if you're Iowa, they're not scared of you because you're the, the Power 4 school in the building.
Lob pass from Stuelke inside to O'Grady, and Addy turns and nobody there. Lays it up and in. 16 on 8 of 8 from the floor for O'Grady. Drake goes inside. Taylor tries to go to work underneath and is fouled by O'Grady and will shoot 2.
Yeah, O'Grady just leaned a little bit too far over with their arms there. They always tell you have to have verticality, keeping your arms straight up in the air. And unfortunately for a lot of post players, they think they always have verticality, and sometimes those arms creep over and they don't realize it. It's very difficult to do that. It's just instinct to try to get a little touch on the shot.
So the freshman Maggie Taylor at the line from Rapid City, South Dakota, swishes the first. That's her first point. Now Addy's got to watch that second foul now early in the second quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. That's been Iowa's money so far, is to go to O'Grady on the offensive end. So you certainly want to see her stay on the court and not get into foul trouble further here. Right on cue, you see Drake bring Anna Miller back into the game, and you can bet they'll look to feed her the basketball to try to draw that second foul on O'Grady.
So Taylor, 2 out of 2 from the line. Drake goes up 5, 30-25, just underway, second quarter. Here's Olsen. Feeds McCabe right side, now back to Lucy inside. O'Grady back to the basket, turns and faces, gives it back to Olsen along the baseline, finds a little seam, pulls up from 5 and knocks it in.
See, Rob, they're in that matchup zone there, and that's where they find gaps within it, and you just have to be patient because you will become wide open to an extent that you're unsure why you're so open, which I think just happened to Olsen. Luckily, with her senior composure, was able to catch the ball, assess, and make the shot. But that's sort of something, this Drake zone, it's not something you're used to facing, and so it can get you a little out of sorts. But having comfort and being patient to get the look.
Yeah, Miller had a shot blocked underneath, so Drake gets the ball out of bounds. Will keep the possession. Dinnebier on the right wing. Feeds Hawthorne in between the circles. Now back to Dinnebier. Miller comes to screen. Katie gets to the free throw line. Now kicks it right side. Three-pointer Becker's up and no good. Nice rebound by McCabe, and she hustles it down court. On the left wing now, turns it back. Hawks down 3. Here's a Fulter. Drives in hard on the left block. Sealed off, gets it to O'Grady. Now back to Olsen. She drives hard. Layup, no good. Right hand on the left side. Rebound down to the Bulldogs, Miller. Ahead to Dinnebier. Dinnebier always on the move. Terrific ball handler. Has the ball on the right wing. Gets it to Miller, slicing to the basket. Wild shot, no good. Stuelke the rebound. Down court, Olsen. She'll fire a 3. In and out left wing. Hawks have been cold from three-point range today.
Cold, but they've had a few rattle in and out.
And a charge away from the ball is going to be called on Drake as Becker just ran into Lucy Olsen right at the free throw line.
Yeah, right place, right time for Olsen, and that's kind of the same return the favor call that Drake had in their favor earlier when the player ran right into Hannah Stuelke. So call it even now, Rob. 1 for 1.
30-27, Drake on top. Hawks with the basketball. Olsen brings it across the timeline with 7:25 left to go in the second. Here's McCabe, right wing, and she stepped out of bounds trying to make a move toward the baseline.
That's something you used to see happen to Caitlin Clark occasionally early in her career when she had such range, like McCabe has as well. All of a sudden, they're playing further out from the three-point line. You find her heels on that sideline, especially with the extended three-point line change a couple of years ago.
Who we understand is in the building today.
Yeah,
as Drake gets the ball inside. Now back out to Dinnebier. Dinnebier makes a move down the left side of the lane all the way to the window. Miss the left-handed layup. O'Grady fights for the rebound along with Miller. And ball possession to the Bulldogs.
Hawks lucked out there on that left-hand layup miss by Katie Dinnebier. The seas sort of parted for her to get all the way to the rim. Not a layup you'll see her miss very frequently. But again, the active offensive glass for Drake leading to an extra possession.
Knutson tried to get it inside. The ball was knocked away by Stalky, but gathered by Drake, and they'll set things up. Bulldogs with the basketball, up by 3. Dinnebier turns, stops at the free throw line, bounce pass inside Miller, and she shuffled her feet, traveling the call.
That's a second travel from Anna Miller, and I actually want to credit O'Grady's defense on that. As you saw her release the contact as soon as the catch was made. And I think that makes posts uncomfortable a little bit. They're used to someone pounding on their back the whole way, and then as soon as that contact is released, it can lead to them moving their feet a little bit and shuffling.
Feuerbach in for a Fulter. 30-27, Drake. Olsen brings the ball across the timeline, angles right side, outside of the three-point arc. Gets it inside Stalky, goes to work along the baseline, has her shot blocked by Miller, and that's what she does. Had 6 of them against North Dakota State. Quickly Drake down court. Miller reverses the ball to Knutson. Now in the corner, it's Becker and a whistle. And an offensive foul will go against Courtney Becker. That's her second.
Really good discipline there from Stolke to move her feet, establish the position, and take that charge on one of those hustle plays that Coach Jensen loves to see.
Shannon Fornshell, backup power forward into the game, 6'1" sophomore, 30-27. That's been the score for the last couple of minutes. Drake on top, Hawkeyes with the basketball. 6:10 left to go until halftime. Posting up strong, O'Grady goes up and finishes. But traveling is going to be the call first. As they said, she changed her pivot foot. Mulaney in for O'Grady.
Can't say I saw that one, Rob, on the travel, but you're seeing Addie be aggressive on the catch, going straight at Anna Miller. Has the height advantage a little bit, so she's on the bench now, but as soon as she comes back in, Iowa feeding her over and over again.
Drake by 3 with the basketball. Miller gives it off. Now Dinnebier. Olsen comes out on her. Everything behind the arc right now for the Drake Bulldogs. Alsma gets it to Dinnebier with 8 to shoot. Dinnebier drives down the left side of the lane. Shot partially blocked by Stalky, but is there some body contact? And Stalky will pick up her second.
I think Stolke stayed long to make the contact with the shot, but had her offhand was a little bit into the hips of Dinnebier, pushing her to the ground. Looked good in live action, but you can see that again on the replay. Got her on the hips.
Dinnebier, one thing she can also do is create something as the shot clock winds down. She's got the ability not only to shoot the 3, but loves to get to the rim.
Loves to get to the rim, has great patience and a great feel for when the clock is winding down. Something that not every point guard has, and some have to develop over time, but ever since her freshman year, I think you've seen Katie Dinnebier be very, very comfortable with the ball in her hands, especially in those late shot clock situations. Knocks
down both free throws, and it's 32-27 Drake. Hawks have been stuck on 27. 5:35 left to go until halftime. Olsen across the timeline, hesitates, drives down the right side, flips it up, and body contact and a foul on the Bulldogs.
Had Drake back in that matchup zone, and again where there's just gaps, and saw Olsen see one and attack it to draw the foul there. But I think that's something Iowa can look to do a little bit more, especially when the 3 ball is not falling exactly how they want it to at the moment, is keep attacking the rim. It's clear these officials are willing to blow the whistle.
Gray picks up the foul. Olsen at the free throw line. Nets them both. Lucy with 8. And that pulls the Hawkeyes to within 2, 32-30. Gray hasn't played much. Gives it off right side, three-pointer. Knutson no good. And Mulaney gets the rebound. Pushes it forward to McCabe. Taylor will set up the offense. The Hawks can tie the game with a 2. Feuerbach all the way to the rim. Shot no. O'Grady back in. Gets the offensive rebound. Flips it left side. Feuerbach 3. No. O'Grady another rebound. And let's see if we get a push along the baseline on Gray.
Yeah, it looks like we did, Rob, and great energy from Addie O'Grady on the offensive glass. Got back-to-back offensive rebounds there to keep it alive and draw the foul.
Gray, a 6'2 junior from Kansas. Hasn't played a whole lot this year, but has come in because Iowa's been so effective underneath the basket. We've got timeout on the floor with 4:57 left to go in the second. Drake 32, Iowa 30. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from their field.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Whoa, winter is right around the corner. Before you travel for the holidays, get a free vehicle winter inspection from my dad, Brian Sekfetz, and his staff at Dodge Street Tire and Auto. For 25 good years, they've been your family-friendly, dependable, and honest neighborhood auto repair shop. That's why their loyal customers have once again voted Dodge Street Tire as the best in the area. Don't be left out in the cold. Dodge Street Tire and Auto at the corner of Dodge and Church Street.
You're listening to coverage of Hawkeye women's basketball, powered by the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative, empowering Hawkeyes to do energy right.
Addie O'Grady has half of the Iowa points, just about, as she has 16. And the scoreboard here has kind of gone back and forth with Iowa's point total the last couple of minutes. It did say when we went to break 32-30. I think this is the correct score now, 32-29, because Iowa was stuck on 27 for several minutes, and then the 2 free throws by Lucy Olson. So 32-29 Iowa, 4:57 left to go in the second. University of Iowa Energy Collaborative is proud to be the presenting sponsor of Hawkeye women's basketball this season, empowering Hawkeyes to do energy right. Learn more at uiowaenergycollaborative.com. Also, you can earn $250 when you open an eligible checking account at the Tiffin branch or online. Get rewarded for banking with FSB. That's Farmers State Bank. Visit myfsbonline.com for complete details. Subject to approval. Minimum $50 deposit. Requires e-statements and direct deposit. Member FDIC. Hawks get it in. Here's Olsen. Drives down the left side of the lane. Acrobatic left-handed shot, no. O'Grady, the rebound, has it blocked by Miller. And Drake comes away with the ball. In the front court, Miller top of the key. Sends a pass underneath, and actually Becker fell down. And the ball goes right out of bounds. Mulaney was there defensively for the Hawks.
Yeah, if Becker wanted a foul called on Mulaney, I think they got a little tied up, which led to her not getting loose to receive that pass. Advantage there to the Hawkeyes on the tie-up.
Down 3. Mulaney whips a pass inside. O'Grady, left-handed layup, good, right underneath the basket.
You know, this is reminding me a little bit of an Iowa Drake game years ago when Megan Gustafson, one of her last time playing.
As the block shot by O'Grady, Miller got the ball down on the right block, and Addie went up, timed it perfectly, and knocked it out of bounds off of Miller.
With the volleyball spike from O'Grady and a lot of huge energy from the Iowa bench. They love that.
Boy, how good has she been?
Yeah, you've seen some energy come from her offensive performance leading to some aggressive defense. You love to see it from O'Grady.
O'Grady gets the ball back out to McCabe on the left wing. Now Addie, turnaround jumper, 16, no. Rebound, McCabe brings it to the right side. Hawkeyes can take the lead with a hoop. O'Grady right outside the block and threw it away. Tried a cross-court pass to Feuerbach, and it's picked off by Knutson. Now to Dinnebier, open three, right wing, no good off the left side of the iron. McCabe, another rebound. Taylor brings it across the timeline. Now we'll set things up for the Hawkeyes. Feuerbach on the left side, free throw line extended. Now drives baseline all the way to the rim. Layup good by Kylie Feuerbach. Right hand on the left side.
Beautiful take by Feuerbach. I mean, she's got a great first step, Rob, that leads her getting to the rim so quickly and with one dribble from the three-point line.
And a whistle. And an offensive foul on Hawthorne. A blocking foul away from the ball. That is her first, and the Hawkeyes now possess a 1-point lead at 33-32 and the basketball with 3:20 left to go second quarter. O'Grady hands it off to Olsen on the right wing. Dribbles behind her back, same area. Now to Feuerbach. Three-pointer, no good off the right side of the rim. Missed it from the right wing. Dinnebier quickly into the front court. Lob pass inside Miller. Bounce pass beautifully to Becker. Goes up strong. And a Hawkeye foul underneath.
Now that's textbook execution of the Drake offense of what they're looking to do there. Is, you know, a give and go, backdoor cut, right when you think you can kind of take a second and recover, they're cutting backdoor on you and getting to the rim. So that's, you know, that's Drake offense. It's a motion offense they've run for years. Coach Pullman has continued after Coach Baranczyk was here and had a lot of success with that system. And it's an offense that's really difficult to prepare for, Rob, because you don't know what they're going to do. They don't even know what they're going to do because they have so much offensive freedom within their motion offense, and it makes it very difficult to defend, and luckily Iowa's kept it at bay thus far.
Becker can't connect on both free throws. Hawkeyes into the front court, and a jumper from 15 straight away is good by Lucy Olsen. Great one-on-one move that time by Olsen. She has 10. Hawks up by 3. Baseline drive, shot up, no good. Hawthorne. O'Grady the rebound. Hands it off to McCabe across the timeline. Here's Olsen on the right wing. Hawthorne on her. Now Mulaney makes a move in the paint. Shot up strong. Made a nice move, just could not get it to go. And the ball goes out of bounds along the baseline over to the Bulldogs. A falter for McCabe. Change for the Hawkeyes.
I see really good leadership from Lucy Olsen on the court there. Mulaney, you know she's struggling a little bit with her three-point shot. There she got to the rim, couldn't quite connect. You saw Lucy Olsen grab her, tell her it's all right, move on to the next play.
Here's Dinnebier along the baseline, flips it left side, 3-ball. Alsma knocks it down.
Yeah, you know, Rob, I'm pretty sure before that all happened that Dinnebier stepped out of bounds on that baseline drive before she made the pass. But, you know, nonetheless, three-pointer good by Alsma, and she's looking pretty much automatic from 3 at the moment.
Mulaney still stays with the offense, moves into the paint. Left-handed layup off the window, good.
Love to see that bounce-back possession from Mulaney, going right back to the rim.
And Miller tries to put it up with the left hand, swatted away, and out of bounds by a fierce Addie O'Grady.
Yeah, Addie O'Grady giving Miller right back with the block shots. You know, that's something that is a strength of O'Grady as well. You know, the more minutes she gets, the more blocks she's going to have. She has such great length.
Ball possession for the Bulldogs. Iowa by 2. Drake gets it out top. Here's Dinnebier. Thought about a three-pointer. Kicks it right side to Knutson. Now back to Dinnebier. Drives down the left side of the lane. Contact and a charge taken by Kylie Feuerbach.
Yeah, another charge taken by this Iowa defense. And as you've pointed out before, Rob, such a strength of Feuerbach's defense. Because she's so quick laterally, she can get you, she can beat the offensive player to the spot, establish herself, and take the charge.
Hawks with a 2-point lead and the basketball. 1:33 left to go, second quarter. A Fulter, top of the key. Bounce pass, Olsen. Shot 15 feet from the elbow. Got it to go. Looked like it was going to crawl out, but dropped in.
How good is Olsen from the mid-range?
12 points. Love to see that mid-range game, and she's got it. Hawks by 4. Three-pointer Miller, air ball, left wing. Drake did save it from going out of bounds, but right in the hands of Olsen. In transition, right side of Fulter. Now back to Mulaney. 3 is good, just right at the top of the key.
And you love to see the one more pass, something Iowa offense prides itself on. If Fulter had a good look, passed it up for a great look from Mulaney, and she drains it.
Becker down the right side of the lane, no good. Missed the layup. O'Grady the rebound. Hawks on a nice push here to end the second quarter. 42-35. Tegan Mulaney will shoot a three left side. Drills it. Tegan Mulaney lighting it up the last two trips.
Yeah, ever since that missed layup, her little words of wisdom from her senior point guard Olsen, and look at her now. 8 straight points from Mulaney ever since then.
And the Hawks go up by 10. Their big lead in the first half.
I got to say, the highlight of that last possession for me was Caitlin Clark, who's in the building, yelling from the stands that they should have got a 2-for-1 situation.
Always coaching.
Oh,
Here's
yeah.
a great defensive play by Feuerbach. Saved it behind her back. Olsen down to Mulaney at the buzzer. No good off the front of the iron to end the second quarter. What a play by Kylie Feuerbach.
Yeah, great hustle by Feuerbach, something you're going to see from her night in and night out, and doesn't ever take a possession off. You know, look, Drake looking to get the last shot, and Feuerbach with her hustle and effort blows that up and leads to one more shot attempt for Iowa.
And what a close to the second quarter by Tegan Mulaney. As you mentioned, 8 straight points, and Iowa will take a 10-point advantage to the halftime break. When it comes to your health, you need the full picture. That means the right diagnosis and the right treatment right from the start. University of Iowa Healthcare is changing medicine and changing lives. Learn more at uihc.org. The Hawkeye halftime show from the Knapp Center up next. The Hawks 45, the Bulldogs 35. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
Honda's biggest event is back. Happy Honda Days are here with our best savings of the year. All remaining 24s must go. Save thousands with 1.9% financing. Award-winning Honda cars, SUVs, trucks, vans, hybrids, and EVs are all in stock, like the 2024 Honda Accord, now with low 1.9% APR financing. Do not miss it. To have happy Honda Days, search a local Honda dealer.
See dealer for financing details for well-qualified buyers. Offer ends 1/2/25.
Something big is happening at Hy-Vee. We've just lowered thousands and thousands of prices on thousands and thousands of items in every aisle and in every department. Online, too. And on many of your favorite products. We've even matched prices with some of the biggest discount stores in the country. Because we get it, times are still tough. So we'll continue to work hard to bring you new lower prices on thousands of items. Things are looking different at Hy-Vee. Come see for yourself.
You might think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. Corn can even fuel your drive to watch the Hawkeyes play when you choose Unleaded 88. It's a fuel that's cheaper, cleaner, and greener. Plus, it's homegrown, making Unleaded 88 the clear choice at the pump and totally worth the hype. So as you head to cheer on the Hawkeyes this season, don't just fuel up. Pump it up with Unleaded 88. Find Unleaded 88 at a station near you. Go to iowacorn.org/88.
Rivalry matchups are back, and you could be there in style with the Iowa Lottery. Enter any non-winning Hawkeye Gold Scratch ticket in the VIP Club for a chance to win exclusive seats to the Iowa State matchups at Carver Hawkeye Arena. Enjoy complimentary food and beverage service, parking, and $500 in spending money as you watch the Hawks and the Cyclones battle for in-state bragging rights. Women's basketball, men's basketball, or men's wrestling. It's your choice. Check out ialottery.com/VIP for details and play today.
Woo-hoo! Did you know that UI ranks near the top of the EPA's Green Power Leaderboard with 84% of our energy coming from renewable sources? Now you can be a part of the team that makes it happen. The University of Iowa Energy Collaborative, with our partner, NG Iowa, is offering full-time positions in utility operations for our campus and hospital water, heating, steam, and distribution systems. Check out the jobs and apply at uiowaenergycollaborative.com.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield, this is the Hawkeye Halftime Show, brought to you by Hy-Vee. Score big savings with a Hy-Vee Perks membership. Iowa Lottery. Be a VIP with the Iowa Lottery. Visit ialottery.com for details. Lennox and your local Lennox home comfort specialist. Made right here in Iowa since 1895. Powered by the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative. Empowering Hawkeyes to do energy right. Now back to courtside.
Oh, back here courtside at the halftime show. We're going to take a look at the stat sheet, starting with your Iowa Hawkeyes. leading at the half 45-35 over the Drake Bulldogs. The leading scorer at the half for Iowa is Addie O'Grady. On 9 of 11 shooting, has 18 points, 6 rebounds, 4 of those offensive, and 3 blocked shots. But you love to see that defensive energy from O'Grady. Lucy Olson, second in command here with 12 points of her own on 4 of 7 shooting, 3 for 4 from the free throw line. And then Tegan Malini, freshman, who we just saw get hot there towards the end of the second quarter, has 8 points on 3 of 7 shooting, has 2 3-point field goals of her own. Iowa overall leading on the offensive rebounding war 6-4. The overall rebounding leading 22-14. A little bit of a sore spot for Iowa is their 3-point shooting, only 3 of 11 for 27% at the half. Moving on to Drake, leading them in scoring is senior guard Katie Dinnebier with 12 points, 6 of those coming from the free throw line. And Anna Miller, their other second leading scorer coming into the game, has been limited to only 4 points, but does have a couple of block shots, even life difficult for the Hawkeyes. Look at points off turnovers. Drake has scored 12 off of Iowa turnovers. Iowa scoring 9 off of Drake turnovers. But the real advantage coming in the paint, where Iowa leads paint points 26-4. And Iowa really had a strong second quarter, leading the second quarter 24-10 after a first quarter in which they lost by 4 points.
All good stuff. And the Hawkeyes, of course, close out that second quarter in dramatic fashion, especially with Tegan Malini. Halftime Stats Report brought to you by Hy-Vee, your one-stop shop for making your life easier, healthier, and happier. Hawks by 10, 45-35. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
At Mid-American Energy, our 1.6 million customers depend on our energy 24/7. That's why we work 24/7 to deliver the safe, reliable energy you need. To keep our 99.9% reliability record, we're enhancing our technology, improving resiliency, and investing in critical infrastructure. We're generating power from all available resources to cover any increases in demand. And we're innovating to ensure you always have the energy you need. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Hey Hawkeye fans, Lucy Olson with Iowa Women's Basketball here. Your support in the stands is critical to our success on game day, but now you have another way to make a real impact. Join the Swarm today and partner with my teammates and me to serve charities throughout Iowa. Together, we're making our state stronger and helping Iowa athletics become the place where we experience the thrill of winning championships. Head to iowaswarm.com for more information. Let's make a difference, Hawkeye Nation.
Hey folks! There's nothing better than burgers, beer, and sunshine. At Burger Shed, we've got all that and more. Try the pork banh mi sandwich with kimchi and teriyaki sauce, or triple your fun with the BS Mac, stacked with 3 buns with our signature BS sauce and homemade pickles. Wash it all down with a cold local brew, and don't forget to soak up the sunshine on one of our 2 patios with lakefront views. The only BS you need is the Burger Shed. Burger Shed, Bass Pro Drive, Altoona.
Hey Hawk fans, ready to elevate your game day experience? Introducing Daydreamer Cannabis Infused Beverages. Made locally in North Liberty, Iowa, Daydreamer is your all-natural, low-calorie lifestyle beverage made with real fruit. It's light, healthy, and alcohol-free. Just what you need to keep you relaxed when the game heats up. So grab yourself a Daydreamer. Sip local and dream big. As always, enjoy responsibly. Visit us online at enjoydaydreamer.com.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Iowa. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the university and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the university.
Hawkeyes on top, 45-35. We are at the half in the Knapp Center. Time to check out the U.S. Bank scoreboard update. U.S. Bank is a proud sponsor of the Hawks. We're in it with you for the good stuff and all the hard work it takes to get there. Because together, there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Let's check out some NFL scores today. Well, first off, for Thursday's contest, the Philadelphia Eagles defeated the Washington Commanders 26-18. Right now, the Dolphins are leading the Raiders 34-19 with 1:06 left to go. The Browns will lose again today. The Saints 35 and the Browns 14 at the 2-minute warning, fourth quarter. The Colts and the Jets wrapped up in a good one. It is Indianapolis 28 and the Jets 27. And that is very late in that game as well. Minnesota Vikings 23. Tennessee Titans 13 with just under 4 minutes remaining in that one. The Packers hold a 1-point advantage over the Bears 20-19 as that is winding down at Soldier Field. The Lions put 52 so far on the board against the Jacksonville Jaguars, 52-6 at the 2-minute warning. And the Patriots trail the Rams 28-22 also at the 2-minute warning. It is the Steelers 15, the Ravens 10, 3:35 left to go in that one. Those are the partial scores from the noon starts in the NFL, brought to you by U.S. Bank. Iowa 45, Drake 35. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
Our mission at Oak Knoll is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, CEO. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served the Iowa City area for 57 years. Oak Knoll is located near University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hancher Auditorium, and downtown Iowa City. Visit our website at oakknoll.com to learn more. We're a proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Go Hawks!
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024 U.S. Bank.
Hello, Iowa. Here's a promise. Wherever you are in this great state, University of Iowa Healthcare is here for you, even if you never walk through our doors. Educating, caring, leading research, sharing our expertise with all. Because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
Hawk fans, stop in and visit the newly renovated guest rooms at Hyatt Regency Coralville Hotel and Conference Center, located in the heart of Iowa River Landing. Stay within walking distance of Extreme Arena, home of the Hawkeye volleyball team, as well as great restaurants, shopping, and scenic walking trails along the Iowa River. Hyatt Regency Coralville is also the home of Hawk Talk with Jan Jensen and Fran McCaffrey. Come together at Hyatt Regency Coralville, where everything you need is right here.
Hawkeyes with 26 points in the paint and outscored Drake 24-10 in the second quarter. Lead at 45-35. Drake is led for 12 minutes and 45 seconds. The Hawks for 4:32. But what a close, and especially by Tegan Mulaney, the final few minutes of quarter number 2. Addie O'Grady, 9 out of 11 from the floor with 18 points. That ties her career high, which she had against Virginia Tech a week ago today, and also has 6 assists. And Lucy Olson on 4 of 7 shooting has 12 points. Katie Dinnebier leads the way for Drake with 12. Have to be careful with Anna Miller, one of the great scorers for Drake. She's 1 for 9 from the floor, 0 for 3 for three-point range, has only 4 points. Hawks need to keep that up in the second half. 45-35, Iowa over the Drake Bulldogs. University of Iowa Energy Collaborative is proud to be the presenting sponsor of Hawkeye women's basketball this season, empowering Hawkeyes to do energy right. Learn more at uiowaenergycollaborative.com. The Hawkeyes are also bowl eligible. You can sign up at hawkeyesports.com/bowl central, all one word, to get game tickets, travel, and hotel info as soon as it's announced. Presented by Travel Leaders, Destinations Unlimited. Iowa's official bowl tour. Hawks by 10, third quarter up next. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
We know you're a fan, but is Hawkeye pride in your blood? Here's your chance to prove it. This season, Abbott and the Big Ten are kicking off the largest blood donation competition of our lifetime to fight one of the worst blood shortages in a generation. Simply visit bigten.org/Abbott to sign up for the We Give blood drive and help settle once and for all that the Hawkeyes give the most spirit. Again, visit bigten.org/Abbott to sign up.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
Something big is happening at Hy-Vee. We've just lowered thousands and thousands of prices on thousands and thousands of items in every aisle and in every department. Online, too. And on many of your favorite products, we've even matched prices with some of the biggest discount stores in the country. Because we get it, times are still tough. So we'll continue to work hard to bring you new lower prices on thousands of items. Things are looking different at Hy-Vee. Come see for yourself.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide, experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, or just need someone to listen, 988 provides a direct connection to free, confidential, and compassionate support. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. You are not alone. For 24/7 support, call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org.
Hawkeyes with the opening possession, third quarter. Basket to our left. Here's Stolke, 16 feet away, drives down the right side. Power move up off the window, and the Hawks strike first in the third quarter.
Yeah, beautiful execution out of halftime. You know, it's a set play that they plan on running to come out of the gates, get Stolke going.
Miller gives it left side. Becker takes one dribble. Back to Knutson. She'll fire a three. Rimming no, but Miller gets the weak side rebound on the right side. Gets it back to Becker. Now Miller on the right wing. Drives paint. Shot up off the window. No good with the left hand. Stolke the rebound. Pushes it ahead to Olsen. Now to O'Grady running the floor, and she ran into Dinnebeer underneath the basket. That's going to be a charge. The second foul on Addie O'Grady, and Dinnebeer a little bit slow to get up. Looked like she fell on her tailbone.
Yeah, Dinnebeer beat her down the court, but what you see, the Iowa bench is not happy about that call because they don't think that they allowed O'Grady to establish her position. Kind of Dinnebeer got.
And she was standing right under the basket.
Exactly. No time for O'Grady to make the catch, land, and turn, sort of like in football. And so that's why I wasn't real happy with that call. But Dinnebeer is so tough. I mean, that could not have felt good. Took a slam and right back up.
And she passes the ball off to Becker. Everything outside the arc right now for the Bulldogs. As Becker along the baseline, gets it back from Dinnebeer. Now Ava Hawthorne slashing to the basket. Shot no. Put back no good by Miller. A Falter comes away with the rebound. Ahead to Olsen. She'll stop and fire a three left side. No good. Rimmed out. Miller the rebound. Ahead to Dinnebeer. Hawks by 12. Dinnebeer fires a three. No good. Left to the top of the key. Olsen the rebound. Lucy brings it into the front court. Hesitates. Gets into the paint. And then the defense collapses on her. Gets the ball back from O'Grady. Rolls the pass inside to Stolke. She's doubled. O'Grady goes up in traffic. Shot no good. Too strong off the window. Good defense by Drake. Dinnebeer tried to make a pass. Lost control of it. Into the hands of Kylie Feuerbach. Feuerbach dumps it off for a Falter. Now inside O'Grady. Just outside the paint. Drops it off to a Falter. Loses it. Gathers it. Spins in the paint, goes up, and a reach will be called on Knutson.
Yeah, that foul probably could have been called about 15 seconds earlier, to be quite honest with you, Rob. A Falter going through lots and lots of contact from the freshman Knutson there. But, you know, so far this half a little bit, it seems like both teams have just fallen a bit cold from three, Drake in particular, which, you know, not sad to see that. But I think Iowa, that's something that would give them a lot of confidence to see a couple of threes fall.
Hawks get it in. A Fulter gets the ball right side, Feuerbach. Now inside O'Grady, just outside the paint. Lobs it back for Lucy Olson, who brings it in between the circles with 7 to shoot. Drives down the middle of the lane. Scoop pass to O'Grady and somehow gets it to go as it crawled over the right side of the rim.
Yeah, O'Grady finishing through contact on that one, which is great development, great evolution in her game to be able to do that.
Dinnebier, a great cut down the right side of the lane. Layup good. And she is fouled. We'll have a chance at a three-point play.
You know, Rob, there's transition offense, and then there's what you would kind of call a secondary transition offense, and that's what you saw Iowa get beat in right there, where it's not that initial action, but it's the pass and the cut, where you're still kind of getting back in your transition D. You're not totally established in the quarter court, and Drake has beaten Iowa on that a handful of times here today.
Feuerbach picks up the foul. Dinnebier completes the three-point play. She has 15. 49-38, Hawkeyes with a lead in the basketball. Early going, third quarter. Feuerbach free throw line extended right. Gets it inside to O'Grady. Turns with the left hand, no good. Gets her own rebound. And a foul is going to be called in the paint. And they're going to get Anna Miller with a reach against Addie O'Grady.
I hope you can hear that at home, that the Drake fans did not appreciate that call very much, but I, in my biased self here, definitely think it was the right one. I think Miller gets away with a lot of stuff underneath. She's very physical. She's a smart, savvy player. And, that time it just went against her favor.
Both teams have kind of gathered by themselves, as Allison Pullman getting an explanation from one of the officials on that call.
You saw Kylie Feuerbach, who has maybe had a little bit of blood that they're cleaning off, and that's
okay,
I think
so now
the
she's at the end of the bench.
Reason for the stoppage.
Getting attended to. So she'll have to come out of the game for Taylor McCabe. Ball possession for the Hawkeyes on top, 49-38. Olsen will trigger it in. Hawks will be in a box set. The officials still talking about that play. And now they're going to wave both teams to their respective benches, and they're going to take a look at it.
Yeah, I don't know for certain, but usually when there's any type of shot to the face, especially one that leads to blood, they're going to review that to just make sure there was nothing unsportsmanlike and that it was a basketball play.
Don't forget that in Iowa we grow corn, but the truth is corn grows Iowa. Corn grows feed for our livestock, food for our families, and clean burning fuel. For your drive to the game, drive clean with Unleaded 88 and support Iowa corn farmers. Go to iowacorn.org to pump it up with Unleaded 88. So with these reviews, which are sponsored by Athletico, all plays under review are brought to you by Athletico Physical Therapy. Are aches, pains, or injuries keeping you on the sidelines? Athletico's movement experts are here to help you turn your setbacks into comebacks and create a personalized game plan for your recovery. With no prescription or referral needed, Athletico Physical Therapy is where your comeback story begins. And of course, all three officials get their time to look, and I don't think they'll find anything. They typically don't.
I don't know, which is a good thing. Keeping the game clean, hustle plays. It's a physical game and things happen, but I agree with you, Rob. I don't think there was anything malicious there. Although they are giving a lengthy explanation to the Iowa coaching staff, Sean Sullivan, right now. Got quite a bit of Hawkeye royalty in the house here today, especially with the connection to the Drake program. Obviously Coach Bluter being here at Drake for many years. Coach Jan Jensen and Jan's number 13 hanging in the rafters. Coach Jenny Fitzgerald in the house, another Drake alum. And I was looking through the records here that they have in these game notes, and both Jan Jensen and Jenny Fitzgerald are in that record book for all-time leading scorers. I knew Jan scored a lot of points, but Jenny never gets enough credit for how she filled it up.
No, she could really play in a terrific high school basketball player as well. I think Coach Jensen 7th all-time on the leading points and 6th as far as average is concerned.
Yeah, which, you know, she definitely could fill it up when she was in school. And yeah, you're right, 7th in all-time scoring at 1,996 career points when she was a Bulldog. Pretty amazed she didn't take 2 more field goals to get herself to that 2K mark. But, you know, that's sort of the...
And did not play her freshman year.
I did not know that fact. So did that in 3 seasons, huh? Wow. Well, and you know, it's sort of the irony of this renewed focus on the defensive end coming from the offensive queen herself, Jan Jensen, who never saw a shot she didn't like. But I think that's something really cool about her new, you know, era as the head coach of the Iowa women's basketball team is what she's able to tweak and things she's able to take from both her playing career, her time coaching with Coach Lisa Bluter, and you know, ideas and tweaks of her own to make it her own identity.
The Iowa City Area Sports Commission is responsible for our community, being home to countless amateur sporting events and state tournaments, from state volleyball, wrestling, tennis, and more. The Sports Commission generates significant annual economic impact while adding substantially to our quality of life. The Iowa City Area Sports Commission is a proud presenting sponsor of UI Women's Athletics. Learn more at wegotnext.org. Let's pause 10 seconds for station ID. You're listening to Iowa Hawkeye Women's Basketball. So nothing came of that review. Iowa basketball, 49-38, Hawkeyes. Olsen along the baseline, gets it to Stolke, right in front of the Iowa bench. Now back to Lucy. She brings it out in between the circles. Now reverses the ball to Sydney Fulter. High post area, Stolke, and in a little bit of a hurry, and took an extra step before she put the ball on the floor.
Yep, and she did. You know, sometimes, like I mentioned earlier, you find yourself really open sometimes in the gaps of this defense, and I think it leads to some discomfort where you see shuffling of the feet, a couple of travel calls that are uncharacteristic of Iowa.
Miller to Dinnebeer. She'll fire a 3 right at the top of the key, knocked it down.
Yeah, Dinnebeer doesn't need much time, doesn't need much space. Beautiful 3 from the right lane.
And O'Grady goes right inside. Nice entry by a Fulter from the left wing. Addie with 22 to add to her career high. 3-pointer in transition up by Alsma, no good. Transfer from Illinois State in transition 3. Taylor McCabe, count it from the left wing.
And you love to see it after McCabe going scoreless in that first half, getting face guarded a little bit because they respect her 3-ball that much. Great to see her get one go in transition.
54-41, Hawkeyes on top, 6:15 left to go, third quarter. Miller, Dinnebeer, 2 stars for Drake, play catch. With the ball far side to Alsma. She lost control of the ball as she tried to drive in. And we have a tie-up situation with Hannah Stolke and also Courtney Becker. Possession arrow favors Drake, as Hawthorne and Brooklyn Daly. She's a 6-foot sophomore out of Southeast Polk High School. And she will throw it in along the baseline. Hawks by 13. Lob pass out to Miller. She drives down the left side of the lane. Up and under move, no. O'Grady the foul.
No, that's a set play from out of bounds that Iowa worked on defending in their shoot-around this morning, where they look to isolate their post player on a drive, and that is a little bit difficult for a center to defend, you know, taking off the bounce from 18 feet, give or take. But a play that Iowa knew was coming. Always sort of unfortunate when you know what's coming and yet you still draw a foul.
Free throw good by Miller.
Oh, Rob, there's so much familiarity in this contest every year, year in, year out. As, you know, Coach Jensen mentioned in your pregame interview with her, how many of these players were recruited by both schools. You know, so then both coaching staffs know these athletes. They've known them since they were high schoolers. They've gotten to know their families, and then now, you know, they compete against each other. And so I think at times, you know, it's all in good fun and good competition, but there's no love lost when there's, you know, familiarity and a background held between these players and these coaches.
He almost wanted more. So Miller knocks down both free throws, and traveling McCabe as she put the ball on the floor and tried to get a three-pointer up on the right side. 54-43, 5:53 left to go in the third. Drake basketball.
Seeing some happy feet this afternoon from both Drake and from Iowa.
And they're calling it. They've been consistent in that area.
No question.
Here's Dinnebeer on the right wing. Drives toward the baseline. One-handed pass out top to Daly. Now a pass inside to Miller. And she tried to make a move down on the right block. Was called for traveling. She's had a tough time. Her footwork isn't quite there and bobbled the ball and took an extra step.
Yeah, and we'll credit Iowa defense for part of that too. You know, Stolke being physical with her, O'Grady being physical with her. She's had no possessions off as from a defense has really keyed in on her.
Mulaney, bounce pass inside Stolke. 2 dribbles, up strong with the left hand. Miller blocks it and gets it to Dinnebeer. Terrific defense by Miller. Dinnebeer fires a 3 left to the top of the key and knocks it down. Dinnebeer with 18. Hawks right back in transition, still on top. 54-46, right back into Stolke, now back out to Mulaney. 3-ball, no good off the back of the bracket. Rebound down to Drake. Here's Dinnebeer. She'll fire another 3. Got it right at the top of the key.
How much this Drake team really feeds off of Katie Dinnebeer. You know, back-to-back threes, really feel the momentum shift a little bit. So I think it's a great timeout call here by the Hawkeyes to try to get things under control, take a collective deep breath, and stop this Drake run.
The Katie Dinnebeer run for sure, up to 21 points. Timeout Iowa, 4:50 left to go. Drake on a run and have pulled to within 5. Iowa 54, Drake 49. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from their field.
Hey folks, there's nothing better than burgers, beer, and sunshine. At Burger Shed, we've got all that and more. Try the pork banh mi sandwich with kimchi and teriyaki sauce, or triple your fun with the BS Mac, stacked with 3 buns with our signature BS sauce and homemade pickles. Wash it all down with a cold local brew, and don't forget to soak up the sunshine on one of our 2 patios with lakefront views. The only BS you need is the Burger Shed. Burger Shed, Bass Pro Drive, Altoona.
Hey Hawk fans, ready to elevate your game day experience? Introducing Daydreamer Cannabis Infused Beverages. Made locally in North Liberty, Iowa, Daydreamer is your all-natural, low-calorie lifestyle beverage made with real fruit. It's light, healthy, and alcohol-free. Just what you need to keep you relaxed when the game heats up. So grab yourself a Daydreamer. Sip local and dream big. As always, enjoy responsibly. Visit us online at enjoydaydreamer.com.
When you live in the Midwest, you're accustomed to leading the nation in certain things, from corn and pork production to eggs and soybeans. And now we're adding another product to that list, clean, renewable wind energy. By investing in wind turbines and partnering with area farmers and landowners, Mid-American Energy is harvesting wind power that's homegrown right in our very own backyard, which not only provides customers with low, stable energy rates, but also the support to make our Midwest communities safer and stronger.
Bulldogs on an 8-0 run, fueled by Katie Dinnebeer, who has 12 of Drake's 14 points in the third quarter. Drake has outscored the Hawkeyes 14-9 since halftime. But Hawks still cling to a 54-49 advantage with 4:50 left to go in the third. Plenty of basketball left here this afternoon. Dodge Street Tire and Auto, locally owned and operated and voted best of the area for the 10th consecutive year, proudly supports Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball. Trust Dodge Street Tire for honest auto repair and the best deals on Goodyear and Toyo tires. Dodge Street Tire and Auto, celebrating over 30 good years on the corner of Dodge and Church Streets. We can all help prevent suicide. There is hope with the 988 Lifeline. Call or text 988 now. Hawkeye basketball out of the timeout. 54-49. Mulaney gets it inside. O'Grady layup, no good. Short with the left hand on the left block. Drake with the rebound. Dinnebeer fires into the front court. Now inside, shot no good. by Becker, but a bump will be called underneath on the Hawkeyes.
I think that's a kind of a weak call where the offensive player drops their shoulder and creates all the contact. I think Malini was pretty straight up there, pretty good defense. So unfortunate whistle there for the Hawks.
And that's her third. And we'll bring Courtney Becker to the free throw line. She misfires on the first one, short, 54-49. Hawkeyes on top. Second one in the air, good. Becker with 3. She had 21 against Creighton. Olsen into the front court for Iowa. McCabe, free throw line extended right. Lobs pass into O'Grady, holds it above her head and finishes underneath. And here's a backcourt steal by Olsen. She's doubled, somehow gets out of that traffic and gets it to Kylie Feuerbach. Reverses it to McCabe. Now Mullaney on the baseline, goes up, power move, and finishes, and is fouled.
Great ball movement by Iowa, and that all started with Lucy Olsen's extra hustle on the defensive end, getting that steal, saw the ball work around the entire court, and Mullaney finishing through contact. For a freshman, her ability to finish through contact is really, really impressive. And, Rob, earlier we had that play where Feuerbach got hit in the face. On that last one, you saw Dinnebier fall to the ground, grab her face, and so now I think we're going back to the monitor for review of that.
I think you're right. So our second review in the third quarter with Iowa on top by 8. And that's a great answer, Catherine. You get Drake goes on a run. Dinnebier hits 3 big-time threes right in a row. And then out of the timeout, the Hawkeyes just come right back and get a couple of baskets with Mullaney and Addie O'Grady to push that 5-point lead back to 8. A little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, and I think that's the power of the timeout and why you saw, timeouts are valuable and you want to keep some in your back pocket for end of game situations, but sometimes in basketball, which is a game of runs, you have to use one, especially when you see the type of momentum. And, it's not just the players on the court, but you hear the Knapp Center just go crazy in excitement when Dinnebier gets hot the way she did there for a while. So I think it was a timeout well used by Iowa to stop that run, stop the bleeding, and then kind of reimpose what they wanted to do on the offensive end.
Two of the officials still taking a look at the monitor across the way. We are courtside here at the Knapp Center. Hawk fans, don't forget, throughout the season, you can join head coach Jan Jensen for Hawk Talk, presented by Oaknall, live from the Watermill Kitchen and Bar inside the Hyatt Regency in Coralville. Hawk Talk with Coach Jensen takes place weekly from 6 until 7. Visit HawkeyeSports.com to take a look at the full schedule most Mondays, but due to travel conflicts, of course, the Hawkeyes playing in the Cancun Challenge. Our first show will be Monday, November 25th, but we'll record it after the Washington State game, and then we'll be live at the Hyatt Regency after that. For complete schedule details, visit HawkeyeSports.com. Addie O'Grady with 24. Tegan Mullaney now into double figures with 10 after that flurry of 8 at the end of the second quarter. Lucy Olsen had 12 in the first half, and now the officials will call both coaches as they will get an explanation with Iowa on top by 8 with 4:11 left to go in the third.
Based on the length of the explanation and watching the coaches go back to their huddles, makes you think that they did call something here, an intentional of some sort, but I shouldn't make assumptions. That's sort of how it looks to me. It's like Drake maybe headed to the free throw line for that contact on that last one, which if it's true, it would have been Olsen after her steal making a little contact with Dennebier's face as she tried to clear the defense.
So the Hawks huddle broken and now back out on the court. And so Tegan Mullaney, of course, got that shot to go. And will try to complete the three-point play with nobody in the lane. So there'll be more free throws after this, probably. Teagan at the free throw line, in and out. So now we will go to the other end, and you're right. It'll be Katie Dinnebier at the line for the Bulldogs. She'll get 2.
I'm a little surprised to see that they found
Missed
this
the first.
as a flagrant foul, especially after they didn't find anything on the last one with the incidental contact.
Second one good. So 1 out of 2 for Dinnebier. She has 25. And it will be Bulldog basketball at the timeline. 58-51 Hawkeyes, 4:10 left to go, third quarter. Drake works it around the outer arc. Dinnebier on the left wing, now frees up for a 3, left to the top of the key, rimming no. Offensive rebound to the Bulldogs, but then it was thrown away. Olsen has it on the left wing. And did they tie her up? They did, but the possession arrow points toward the Hawkeyes. Miller back for Drake.
Now, great hands by Lucy Olsen getting her hands in the passing lane and tying another one up. You know, that's something that not only does Lucy Olsen bring great scoring ability to this Iowa Hawkeyes lineup, she also is a great defender, has a great nose for the ball, gets in the passing lanes, and forces turnovers on the opponent.
So Hawkeye basketball after the tie-up situation. Hawks with a 7-point advantage. We're under 4, third quarter. Olsen across the timeline. Now McCabe on the left wing. Top of the key. Stolke drives down the right side. Layup good. And a whistle. Count the basket.
Great set play there for Hannah Stolke. And you've seen this last season and this season so far, where you're running Hannah Stolke up to the high post, takes the catch, makes a strong rip and drive to the right hand, finish on the right block where she's very comfortable. Great execution.
So Stolke at the line to try to complete the three-point play, and it's perfect. Hannah in double figures with 10. The Hawkeyes go up by 10. Drake in the front court. Here's Miller, top of the key, looks inside, whips it right side to Hawthorne, back to Miller. Three-pointer straight away, no good. Missed it from the top of the key. Feuerbach the rebound. Crosses the timeline. Now Olsen, free throw line extended right. Piers inside, gets it inside to O'Grady. Bounce pass to Olsen, flashing toward the basket. Layup good.
Beautiful execution by Iowa on the vintage give and go. Olsen to O'Grady, right back to Olsen for 2, and a beautiful finish, protecting her body and finishing that with her right hand on the left side.
And a beautiful soft pass by Addie O'Grady. We've got an Iowa foul on the perimeter. Feuerbach picks up her third against Dinnebier. 63-51 Iowa, 2:59 left to go in the third. Free throws for Dinnebier.
A lot of free throws in this game, Rob.
Especially for Drake. Free throw right through.
I wasn't going to say it, but yes, I would agree with that.
Second one, also good. 27 for Katie Dinnebier, averaging 13 this year. O'Grady fell down on the right block, and it's picked off by Dinnebier. Left side, quick 3, Knutson got it.
Time and again, that's where you see Drake get their momentum, is when they force a turnover, they come down and they get threes in transition off of them. It's a really kind of like a 5-point swing in a way.
Olsen works the baseline, whips a pass out to Stolke on the right wing, and had it batted away by Dinnebier into the hands of Daly. Now Ava Hawthorne across the timeline. 63-56 Iowa. Dinnebier on the right wing, bounce pass to Miller. Goes to work in the paint, shot no good, too strong off the window, and a tie-up on the rebound. Hawthorne and McCabe. Drake will have possession. Mulaney in for the Hawkeyes.
This is a team against, where no lead really feels safe by the nature of which Drake plays and at the rate at which they can score from the three-point line. And you can tell their momentum gets going when they get those three-pointers to go, and they're forcing turnovers. And so the more Iowa can limit that, the better as we get down the stretch here.
Dinnebier always gives the Hawks trouble, and she has 27 points right now. As we've got another stop in the action. 2:11 left to go. Third quarter. Iowa 63, Drake 56. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
Hey there, sports fans. Hungry for a legendary experience? Look no further than Bumps Restaurants, proudly named after the legendary Bump Elliott. Nestled right at the Finkbine Golf Course on Melrose Avenue, Bumps is your go-to spot for mouth-watering meals. Present your ticket from today's game at Bumps and get a buy one appetizer, get the second appetizer free deal. Offer good through the next home game. See you soon off Melrose Avenue at the Finkbine Golf Course. Bumps Restaurant, a legendary place with legendary food.
Something big is happening at Hy-Vee. We've just lowered thousands and thousands of prices on thousands and thousands of items in every aisle and in every department. Online, too. And on many of your favorite products, we've even matched prices with some of the biggest discount stores in the country. Because we get it, times are still tough. So we'll continue to work hard to bring you new lower prices on thousands of items. Things are looking different at Hy-Vee. Come see for yourself.
Hawkeye fans, get ready for the game with Big Grove. As an official craft brewery of the Iowa Hawkeyes, we're excited to bring you the ultimate game-watching experience. Enjoy fan favorites like Easy Eddie and Citrus Surfer while cheering on the Hawks. Can't make it to Carver? Go to BigGrove.com and enter for your chance to win Hawkeye tickets all season long. Or join us at any of our 4 Iowa locations in Iowa City, Cedar Rapids, Des Moines, and Solon, where you can get out of the cold and enjoy warm hospitality while watching the game. Big Grove Brewery, your official watch party headquarters of the Hawkeyes, all season long. Go Hawks!
You're listening to coverage of Hawkeye women's basketball, powered by the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative, empowering Hawkeyes to do energy right.
Play resumes, and Stolke got the ball in deep for the Hawkeyes. Power move foul, and at the free throw line. Anna's first. Missed the second. So Stolke 0 for 2 at the free throw line. Miller missed a layup. Drake's last possession. They've got it now with Dinnebier. Three-pointer. Right wing. No. But fouled in the active shooting by Feuerbach. And that's Kylie's 4th.
Yeah, Dinnebier, a very, very savvy basketball player. You know, I think that's even kind of something you saw from Clark over the last several years. You know, if there's a little bit of contact, they're going to embellish and finish that play and get themselves 3 free throws. I think Feuerbach maybe just landed a little bit too tight.
So she'll sit down. McCabe back. Dinnebier back at the free throw line again. Makes the first one. She has 28. Her career high is 32 at Murray State last February. Second one rolls in. Remember, she'll get 3.
Yeah, there's a reason Dinnebier was the player of the year in the Missouri Valley last year and the favorite to repeat with that award this upcoming season. She's fun to watch. She's a tough hometown kid here in Drake, and these fans love her.
It's the third to roll in. 64-59. Iowa with the lead and the basketball. 1:35 left to go. Three-pointers straight away. Count it for Taylor McCabe. And here's a steal in the backcourt by a Fulter. Mulaney, 3. Baked it in. Left to the top of the key. How about that?
You gotta love it when the bank is open on Sunday, Rob.
I said, no way that's going in.
Yeah.
It just cruised right through.
And you could tell Jensen was thinking, no way she's taking that. But she let it fly, and it worked out. But again, defense leading to offense. You see Sydney Fulter with the hustle play, getting that steal in the backcourt. You know, and it all started with the Taylor McCabe 3 the possession before, where the defense got a little mixed up, as they can do in that matchup zone, and left McCabe wide open at the top of the key. Back-to-back threes for the Hawkeyes.
And a 30-second timeout. Drake, as Iowa pushes that lead just like that. Back to 11 at 70-59. 1:21 left to go in the third.
This is where you'd love to see a couple of stops to end the quarter, stretch that lead a little bit to go into the fourth with a little bit of cushion. We keep seeing this 10, 11-point lead go back down to 7, 6, etc. So see a stop here from Iowa, a stop and a score to end the quarter.
Hawks led by 10 at the half. Here's Dinnebeer in between the circles. Feeds left side, Alsma. She's knocked down a couple of threes, and the ball is kicked and out of bounds as she tried to get it into Miller down on the left block. So Knutson will throw it in right in front of the Drake bench. Gets it into Dinnebeer. Got to get out on her. She posed for that three-pointer. Drake working the ball around the arc. Dinnebeer gets it back from Miller. Now Alsma tries a lob pass inside for Miller. It's picked off underneath by McCabe. Taylor across the timeline. One-hand pass to Olsen on the right side. Now a Fulter inside Stolke, and a push from behind will be called on Anna Miller.
I think that was a good call by the official. Miller tried to release the contact and get around to steal and pick off that pass, but just a lot of contact along the way. It's been a good battle all night long between Miller and Stolke, Miller and O'Grady. Very physical down under the block.
So Hannah at the free throw line, rolls off the right side. Hawks by 11, under a minute, third quarter. Second one, swish. Stolke with 11. Peyton McCabe comes in for the Drake Bulldogs for the first time. So we got both McCabes out on the court, and a steal by a Fulter. Pulls up, free throw line extended left, looks inside. Stolke shook her off, now gets it to Olsen in between the circles. Here's Mulaney, she'll fire a three right at the top of the key. Rimming no. Fight for the loose ball, knocked out of bounds by the Hawkeyes. Drake basketball with 25-9 left to go in the third. Hawks by 12 at 71-59. Stremlo in for Olsen.
Stremlo, a freshman who's seeing healthy minutes so far this season, in large part due to the effort that she brings on the defensive end of the floor. She's always going for loose balls, hard to the glass to rebound, and works her tail off on the defensive end.
Bulldogs can hold for one with 11 seconds. Becker swings it to Dinnebeer, tries to slip a pass inside to Miller, batted away. Dinnebeer gets it back. The floater in the paint, off balance, and a call will go against the Hawkeyes. Stolke will pick up her third.
You get deep in the shot clock, you really don't want to foul and extend the possession for the opposing team, and we've seen
especially with a double clutch 10-footer.
Yeah, you just bail out the offense when you do that. It was not a good look for Dinnebeer, even as talented of a player as she is. She was off balance, like you say, double clutch, and Iowa had beat 20 seconds off the shot clock before that foul.
Missed the first free throw. Short on the first attempt. 4.9 left to go, so the Hawks can get down the court quickly. Second one, good. 31 for Dinnebeer. Mulaney gets it into Olsen. She's at the timeline, crosses it, will pull from 30, rimming, no good. Took a peek and then popped out to end quarter number 3. Hawks by 11. University of Iowa Energy Collaborative is proud to be the presenting sponsor of Hawkeye women's basketball this season. Empowering Hawkeyes to do energy right. Learn more at uiowaenergycollaborative.com. We'll head to the fourth. The Hawkeyes 71, the Bulldogs 60 from the Knapp Center. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
Need a little boost? Nothing beats the rich, smooth taste of Quick Star's Karuba coffee. Fresh, delicious, and always brewed just right. Now only 79 cents. Any size. When you swipe your Quick Rewards card. Pair it with a fresh baked cookie or muffin from the bake sale and level up your day. Quality coffee at an unbeatable price. Stop by, grab a cup, and taste the difference. Only at Quick Star.
Hey Hawkeye fans, Jenks Dunker with Iowa Football here. Your support in the stands is critical to our success on game day, but now you have another way to make a real impact. Join the Swarm today and partner with my teammates and me to service charities throughout Iowa. Together, we're making our state stronger and helping Iowa athletics become the place where we experience the thrill of winning championships. Head to iowaswarm.com for more information. Let's make a difference, Hawkeye Nation.
Treat yourself to one of our award-winning entrees at the Machine Shed. Come get your hands around one of our famous pork tenderloins, our most popular sandwich, served either deep-fried golden brown or unbreaded and grilled. Or try our roasted stuffed Iowa chop that is stuffed with a warm apple raisin dressing and glazed with an apple whiskey sauce. Trust me, you won't regret it. This is Jeff Grunder, and we can't wait to have you over for dinner at the Machine Shed.
I-80 and Hickman Road, Urbandale, and I-80 and Northwest Boulevard, Davenport.
(71-60), the Hawkeyes over the Bulldogs. 10 minutes of basketball remain for Iowa. Not quite as high scoring as we're used to, but it has been back and forth for sure. Anna Miller, Catherine, averaged 21.3 through the first 3 games, has shot the ball just under 54% from the floor, is 1 for 14. Katie Dinnebier 14 of 16, however, from the free throw line.
Yeah, I think that tells quite a story right there. You know, even if Miller has half her average, we're looking at a much tighter ball game, and I'm sure it's been very frustrating for her. I don't want to over talk it right now. We've still got a quarter to play, and she certainly could still get hot from the field. But thus far, it's been the Katie Dinnebier show on all aspects and at all 3 levels. She's getting to the rim, she's able to get to the free throw line, and she's effective from 3.
Has 31. Hawkeye basketball to start the 4th quarter. Basket to our left. Here's Stolke at the top of the key. Drives down the right side. Shot no good. A little bit strong, but a Bulldog foul. Hannah much too quick.
Yeah, that's that same set play that we talked about earlier. You go to Hannah Stolke at the high post and just let her rip and drive to the rim. And especially when the Iowa coaching staff sees a matchup that they like for Hannah, they'll call that play over and over again. And, prove us that you can stop it. And until that happens, they're going to keep running that play.
Stolke makes the first free throw. Daly the foul. Second one bounces in.
It makes such a difference that Stolke is effective from the free throw line. That was something her freshman year in particular she really struggled with, and it makes all the difference in the world to send her there and get the 2 points rather than draw a foul and get nothing out of the deal.
6 out of 9 for the day. Drake works the ball around the arc. Hawthorne makes a move in the paint. Contact and a blocking foul will be called. That was a little bit of a bailout, too. It looked like Hawthorne took an extra step before the contact.
Yeah, and some plays it's like it's okay to not make a call, too, and sometimes that's the way that games start to go is, I think at this point officials have called it pretty tight today. Not necessarily too tight, but pretty tight, whether it was a travel or fouls. And so then they get to a point where to keep it consistent, they have to keep blowing the whistle. And that can really kind of make a game draw out the way this one has in the last quarter or so.
Hawthorne can't connect on the first free throw. Second one, no good off the right side of the rim. O'Grady grabs the rebound. Gets it ahead to Olsen, 73-60 Hawkeyes. Olsen drives down the left side, moves into the paint off the spin move. Short jumper, no. Rebound taken down by the Bulldogs. Here's Taylor. And she sent a pass inside. As Mulaney is going to get called for a push against Courtney Becker.
Mulaney pretty much threw her to the ground as she tried to establish position. There's the right call by the officials. There's nobody around, and unfortunately a pretty easy call to make. Mulaney, though, she's getting more comfortable with each passing game. You'll see that on both the offensive defensive end of the floor, and for her to get this many minutes early on is invaluable for later on down the season.
So Drake, inside-outside game, three-pointer up and no good by Daly from the left wing. Loose ball dug up by a Folter. Down court to Olsen. Lob inside to O'Grady. Left-handed layup is good, and she's fouled from behind.
Wow, great evolution of Addie O'Grady's game. Not just running the floor the way she did, making the catch in motion, turning, keeping the basketball high, finishing through contact. No one's more proud of what she's seeing right now than Coach Jan Jensen, who was her post coach for the last few seasons, and now her head coach, obviously. But to see that, all the elements of that play come together for Addie, and even to get the free throw to go, 3-point play, that'll be a candy bar in film tomorrow.
Well deserved. 27 for O'Grady, 76-60. Hawkeyes, 8:50 left to go in the ball game. Here's Miller, 17-foot jumper straight away, no. Battle for the rebound. Stremlow along with Daly. And Stremlow is going to pick up her first.
Looked like a pretty good box out to me. And again, like we said, been called tight today.
Ball possession for Drake. Almost a steal by Olsen, retrieved by Hawthorne at midcourt. And then another whistle out near midcourt. Now this is going to go against Sydney Falter. Boy, if you're Iowa, you don't want Drake living at the free throw line here in the last 8 minutes of the game.
Yeah, no, and we're quickly creeping towards the bonus here, only a minute and a half into the quarter, which, yeah, it's really not a fun style of play for anybody. The players, the fans, the coaches. So look to see Iowa try to maybe pull that off, that aggression a little bit.
Dinnebier, step back three, right at the top of the key, no good. Loose ball dug up by the Bulldogs. Dinnebier gets it back, long range shot, no. Another rebound by Becker. Here's Miller, free throw line extended right. And now she drives all the way to the hoop. Easy layup, missed it. She can't believe it.
That's the kind of day that it's been for Anna Miller. Pretty much a wide open left-handed layup and just didn't get it to go. So sometimes you have days like that.
And she so far is having one of those. Only one field goal. Hawks with the basketball on top by 16. Hawk fans, you can hear them. O'Grady tried to get it back to a Falter. Batted up in the air. Both teams get on the floor. And the alternate possession will favor Drake. Gray comes back for the Bulldogs. Played some in the first half. 6'2" junior from Kansas. Bulldog basketball. Here's Gray on the right wing. Holds it above her head. Now a bounce pass to Dinnebier. Goes up strong. Couldn't get the layup to go. And another Hawkeye foul.
It's hard to watch after a while. I don't think we've gone a possession without a foul or a jump ball. Maybe this whole quarter. I don't mean to exaggerate, but it's felt like there's been stoppage every time down the floor.
Well, Drake has shot 26 free throws and will get more after Olsen's second foul. Free throw no good by Dinnebier.
Certainly some opportunities that Drake has had here in the fourth quarter at the free throw line and at the rim.
Second one good. Dinnebier, one of the best free throw shooters you'll find. Jada Jimphy comes in. Her first appearance today, 76-61. Hawkeyes on top, 7:23 left to go. Fourth quarter action from the Knapp Center. Stremlow on the point, dribbles it across the timeline. Here's Jimphy. Whips it inside to O'Grady. One dribble. Addie goes up strong. No. A little bit strong off the window. Rebound taken down by Becker to Dinnebier. Inside Gray. Tries to get it back out. Ball knocked away by the Hawkeyes, and it goes off the Bulldogs and out of bounds.
Now some unforced and uncharacteristic errors here by Drake on some of these turnovers. But again, I do think the defensive intensity of Iowa has something to do with that. Speeding people up, being physical, and making them uncomfortable.
In the front court, a Falter, free throw line extended left. Drives toward the baseline. She's cut off. Gets it to O'Grady, and O'Grady has it stolen away. Here's Dinnebier across the timeline. Fakes a three, races to the basket, and tried to get a pass across the lane. It was batted away by McCabe. but gathered by Gray of the Drake Bulldogs. 76-61 Hawkeyes. Drake with the basketball. Here's Knutson. Gives it off to Dinnebeer, drives down the left side, fakes a shot off O'Grady, and then flips it up, hits the deck, and a blocking foul will be called on Andy O'Grady.
So we talked about bailout fouls. You know, that was another one where Dinnebeer quite literally was near to the ground when she let that fly out of her left hand to try to just get a prayer shot up there with the shot clock winding down, and against the obviously much taller O'Grady. And you know, whether it was or it wasn't a foul, that's the type of error that Iowa, it's good to learn those early in the season so that later on down the road in a tighter game, which, you know, I know there's still 6 minutes left here, but with a 14-point lead, maybe you can afford it, and down the road you won't be able to. So learning those things early is good for this team.
Both free throws good by Dinnebeer. That's now a career high for her with 34. So O'Grady a career high, Katie Dinnebeer as well. 76-63, 6:20 left to go. Hawkeyes with the lead in the basketball. The Fulter left wing. And here's a steal by Becker. She tried to get it to McCabe. Layup good.
Iowa would love a score here. Get things back going in their direction.
And Jan Jensen is going to take a timeout with 6:03 left to go. Another push by the Bulldogs, as the score is 76-65 Hawkeyes. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
Hi, I'm Gary Dolphin, and if you want your home to be exceptionally comfortable during these cold Iowa winters and hot, humid summers, you need to turn to Dave Lennox and your local Lennox home comfort specialist. Lennox has been serving Iowa consumers since 1895, when Dave Lennox built his first furnace in Marshalltown, and Lennox is still building its high-efficiency furnaces and air conditioners there today. For the best home comfort system you can buy, it's Lennox and your local Lennox dealer. Lennox and the Hawkeyes. Now there's a winning combination.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024, U.S. Bank.
You're listening to coverage of Hawkeye women's basketball, powered by the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative, empowering Hawkeyes to do energy right.
Welcome back courtside, the Knapp Center, with 6:03 left to go in the ball game. 76-65, the Hawkeyes over the Bulldogs. Both teams have scored 5 points in almost 4 minutes of basketball. Drake now at the free throw line, Catherine, 24 of 32. Dinnebeer, 17 of 20. At the game or at home, Wimmer's premium quality hot dogs and sausages will score with family and friends. Take the highest quality beef and pork, combine it with natural spices, and you get the best tasting Midwestern hot dog. Wimmer's, the official hot dog of the Hawkeyes. We talked about Anna Miller, 1 out of 16, and you could sense her frustration. She's just cannot get anything to go in. This is Drake's leading scorer.
Yeah, there's been a lid on the rim for Miller this whole game, and you know you feel for someone in that sort of situation. She's been on the verge of tears a couple of different times. You know, and when you think about, even like I said earlier, you know, if she even scores half her average, this is the complexion of this game is very, very different, and she's had some opportunities at kind of pivotal moments, whether it's been a layup or, you know, a turnover on a travel, those types of things where it's very clear she just, you know, for whatever reason, hasn't been her day, hasn't gotten into the flow of things. You know, that being said, her defensive effort, I think, has been great, but yeah, 1 for 16 for a post player who's, you know, predominantly, with the exception of she's taken 4 threes, so 12 of those are in the paint. She just, you know, can't get it to go. You know, something, Rob, that I don't mean to continue harping too much, but with 32 free throw attempts for Drake, 20 of those for one player, Katie Dinnebeer. She's been fouled 13 times. And granted, she is in the middle of everything, but that's a bit extreme.
Hawkeyes with the lead in the ball, and a wild pass underneath, but That's because Addie O'Grady was held by Maggie Taylor and could not make a step toward the baseline to receive the pass, so Hawkeyes will have it. 76-65. Lob pass to O'Grady on the right wing. Shovels it off to Olsen. Lucy in between the circles. Double screen now in the corner of Falter. Back to Olsen. Fires a three, right wing, no. And the rebound hauled down by the Bulldogs. Dinnebier across the timeline. She gets it back from Knutson. Fires a three-pointer off the left side of the rim, no. And then on the rebound, a push will be called on Taylor against Sydney Falter. Iowa basketball on top 76-65. 5:29 left to go.
You can start to sense some urgency from the Drake offense with a little over 5 minutes to go here. They know they need to get some quick scores, whereas now Iowa is take your time on these possessions. Use clock. Don't be lax with the basketball and turn it over, things like that, but use clock and work for good looks.
Olsen penetrates, shovels it off for Stuckey, who lays it up and in. Got into the paint, bounce pass as the defense came to her. Three-pointer no good by Knutson, and the Hawks gather the rebound. A Fulter all the way to the iron, up and no good with the left hand, but will shoot a pair.
Good take by Sydney. I think that's where you're talking. You're either going to use clock or you're going to get open layups, and nothing really in between. We're working for great shots. See Sydney take it to the rim there a little bit quickly, but when you've got an open lane, you've got to take it. Stay with your foot on the gas.
And Sydney looking for her first point tonight. Iowa on top 78-65.
Well, that's the thing about Sydney Falter is that although I believe she'll make these free throws and they'll be her first points of the game, she brings so much else to the basketball game with her leadership, her hustle, her defensive effort, and her ability to kind of bring a comfort level to the rest of the team on the offensive end.
This is the first, a little bit strong. Second one right through. She does have 6 assists, just 1 turnover. 79-65 Hawkeyes.
We're seeing a zone defense here from Iowa for the first time.
Laying off Miller, she takes 1 dribble. Gets it to the right side, Hawthorne. Miller. Dinnebier. Miller fakes a 3, tries to make a move, then gets it back out to Dinnebier. Right side three-pointer up and no good by Daly. Miller with the rebound, tries to push a pass in the paint to Becker.
I like the switch to the zone here from Iowa. I think it's unexpected for Drake. They haven't seen that look all day long, and with as much as Iowa has been fouling, it's a good way to protect those fouls and stop sending Drake to the free throw line here down the stretch.
And the ball goes out of bounds, touched last by the Bulldogs. Hawkeyes get it in the front court, just working it around the arc as we go toward the 4-minute mark. McCabe, three-pointer, deep in the left corner, rolls it in. Taylor McCabe, her third 3. Hawthorne tries to answer with 3, left wing, no. Rebound to Olsen. Brings it herself into the front court. Jan Jensen says, hey, just slow it down here. We've got an 82-65 advantage. A Fulter, free throw line extended left. Hawthorne on her. Gives it off to Olsen. Dribbles between her legs, left wing. Dinnebier comes out. O'Grady sets a screen. Olsen at the free throw line. Flips it off to O'Grady. 17-foot jumper up the left side of the iron, no. Rebound put back, no good by a Fulter. Dinnebier brings the ball into the front court. Almost stolen away by Olsen. Now in the corner. Three-pointer in and out for Becker. McCabe got the rebound. Lost it to Daly. Back to Dinnebier. Three-pointer. Right side of the rim, no. Rebound put back, no. Miller stays with it. Gets it back out to Dinnebier. Now left side, Daly 3. That's no good. Rebound finally to Hannah Stuckey.
Well, since none of them went down, what's great, the best defense is a good offense or something like that, Rob. Just allow those offensive rebounds. They couldn't get them to go.
Hawks working the ball around. Olsen, left wing, now inside to O'Grady. Her left-handed shot is up and no good. Tried to bat it back to a teammate, but Dinnebier comes away with it. That's a shock, huh? Now to Miller for three. Strong off the iron, and Stolke grabs the rebound high above her head and drops it off to Sydney Fulter. Hawks on top, 82-65 with 2:22 left to go. 30-second timeout, Hawkeyes.
Yeah, major scoring drought here has come at a favorable time. Since the 6:03 mark, now we're at 2:22. Drake has not scored a basket. So, when that comes at a good time for you, it's always a good thing. But I think both teams are showing a little bit tired here towards the end of this game. It's been a bit of a track meet all afternoon, and you're kind of seeing that here. Sucking wind. I think a much-needed timeout here for both teams to gather themselves.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station ID. You're listening to Iowa Hawkeye Women's Basketball. After the Hawkeye timeout, it'll be Iowa basketball along the sideline. Feuerbach back in there, gets it to Olsen. 82-65 Hawkeyes. 2:15 left to go. McCabe, free throw line extended left. Part of that conversation had to be work this clock. It's our friend right now. Don't have to worry about it. 8 to shoot. Now you can start hunting for a shot. And Olsen in between the circles, uses an O'Grady screen. Step back, 18-footer at the buzzer. Count it, Lucy Olsen.
Yeah, that mid-range game from Olsen is lethal, and ability to just know and have such a good feel for the clock, wait until the very last second to take that shot and get it to go. Olsen from 16 is lethal.
Halsma misfires a three-pointer, put back good by Becker. Hawks in the front court on top, 84-67. Becker with 7 for the Bulldogs. Feuerbach, bounce pass to O'Grady. Couple feet off the block. Now reposts, and she's going to be called for backing down Miller. That's an offensive foul on Addie O'Grady, and I think that's 5. So O'Grady will sit down with 27 points, had 18 in the first half.
Yeah, what a performance by Addie O'Grady here today. And it wasn't just her scoring. She was all over the place. She was blocking shots. She was getting her hands in passing lanes. She was drawing, fouls on their defense, which I think was part of why Miller was so worn out today, was she was having a heck of a time trying to defend Addie O'Grady. And you really saw some energy from O'Grady that I think this Iowa team can be excited about moving forward in this non-conference season.
Also had at least 9 rebounds and 3 blocks. Dinnebier for 3 left to the top of the key, knocks it down. 37 for Dinnebier.
Have a day, Katie Dinnebier. I mean, she's fun to watch, Rob, and it's exciting to see a hometown kid.
She could play about anywhere.
Oh, absolutely, and that's she's at a great spot for her, and that's allowing her to ultimately succeed, and that's what you love to see for any athlete, is that they're in the right place for them to shine the brightest.
Olsen along the baseline, flips it up and under move. Olsen gets it to go.
Oh, with a little extra English, she gets it to go.
Boy, can she score in a variety of ways, as we know. 86-70. Hawkeyes on top. After Drake led by 4 at the end of 1. Dinnebier, bounce pass inside. Miller back to Dinnebier, wide open 3. Another one, that's 40.
Why not? Why not hit another one, Katie Dinnebier? She's got a lot to be proud of. Obviously, she'll have wished that her team got the win today, but quite an impressive performance from the point guard from the Drake Bulldogs.
Felt like 5-on-1 there for quite a while, but the Hawkeyes will just dribble this out with 10 seconds left to go. Hawk fans on their feet. And how good does this feel for Jan Jensen to get a victory in this building where number 13 with her playing career in the rafters. And there it is. The Hawkeyes win it 86-73. Now stand at 4-0.
Yeah, this might have been the first time that Jan Jensen was able to exhale all day long, or maybe all week long. This is a big game for her. There's lots of emotion that comes back with it, and her homecoming to where she played her college basketball, where she spent a good portion of her coaching career, and just so much familiarity with the coaching staff and the players here at Drake. So anytime you come in here and you get a win, whether it's by 1 point or it's by 13 like it was today. That feels really good, and this is a win that this Iowa team should be really proud of, especially considering how many newcomers and people new to this rivalry that are on that roster.
Every time the Drake Bulldogs made a push, Iowa was able to answer and never really felt that the game was in jeopardy, especially in that fourth quarter, as the Hawkeyes win it 86-73. Earn $250 when you open an eligible checking account at the Tiffin branch or online. Get rewarded for banking with FSB. Visit myfsbonline.com for more details. Subject to approval, minimum $50 deposit, requires e-statements and direct deposit. Member FDIC. Stay tuned for the postgame show as the Hawkeyes move to 4-0, 86-73 over the Bulldogs. Now losers of 2 in a row. They are 2-2 on the season. Big win for the Hawkeyes. First in-state matchup of the season. 86-73 Iowa. Postgame show next. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
Our mission at Oak Knoll is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, CEO. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served the Iowa City area for 57 years. Oak Knoll is located near University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hancher Auditorium, and downtown Iowa City. Visit our website at oakknoll.com to learn more. We're a proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Go Hawks!
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide, experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides a direct connection to free, confidential, and compassionate support. You'll be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. For 24/7 support, call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org. A message from Iowa HHS.
Honda's biggest event is back. Happy Honda Days are here with our best savings of the year. All remaining 24s must go. Save thousands with 1.9% financing. Award-winning Honda cars, SUVs, trucks, vans, hybrids, and EVs are all in stock, like the 2024 Honda Accord, now with low 1.9% APR financing. Do not miss it. To have Happy Honda Days, search your local Honda dealer. See dealer for financing details for well-qualified buyers. Offer ends 1/2/25.
Whoa, winter is right around the corner. Before you travel for the holidays, get a free vehicle winter inspection from my dad, Brian Seckfetz, and his staff at Dodge Street Tire and Auto. For 25 good years, they've been your family-friendly, dependable, and honest neighborhood auto repair shop. That's why their loyal customers have once again voted Dodge Street Tire as the best in the area. Don't be left out in the cold. Dodge Street Tire and Auto, at the corner of Dodge and Church Street.
We know you're a fan, but is Hawkeye pride in your blood? Here's your chance to prove it. This season, Abbott and the Big Ten are kicking off the largest blood donation competition of our lifetime to fight one of the worst blood shortages in a generation. Simply visit bigten.org/Abbott to sign up for the We Give blood drive and help settle once and for all that the Hawkeyes give the most spirit. Again, visit bigten.org/Abbott to sign up.
Hawkeye basketball has been brought to you by U.S. Bank, proud to support Iowa basketball. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Wimmer's Meats, the official hot dog of the Hawkeyes. And by Lennox and your local Lennox home comfort specialist. Made right here in Iowa since 1895. This is the Hawkeye Postgame Show.
And welcome back courtside, the Knapp Center. Iowa 86, Drake 73. And the Hawkeyes did outscore the Bulldogs 15-13 in the fourth quarter. Both teams really had a tough time scoring. It was the second quarter that really set the tone, especially as Iowa ended the second quarter on a 10-0 run, won that quarter 24-10. Postgame stats report is brought to you by Hy-Vee. Sign up for the totally free Hy-Vee Perks program and enjoy exclusive Perks pricing on hundreds of items in store and online. Save big savings today at Hy-Vee.com/perks.
Yeah, Rob, looking at the
Let's talk about some double-doubles, huh?
Yeah, let's do it. Especially, we'll start. You got to start with Adi O'Grady today, don't you?
Absolutely.
When you're talking double-doubles. Finished with a career-high 27 points and 10 rebounds. And 5 of those rebounds coming on the offensive glass, which I know Coach Jensen will love to see. Right behind her was Lucy Olson with 18 points of her own on 7 for 15 shooting and 6 assists to go along with it. And when you're big as scoring like Addie was today, those assists tend to roll in nicely. And then want to mention Hannah Stolke's performance as well. 16 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and really just a solid all-around game, and was kind of somebody that Iowa could look to go to when they needed a bucket throughout the course of the game. Looking down at Drake, you can't say enough about the performance by Katie Dennebeer today. 40 points, more than some people will score in a season, and 17 of those coming from the free throw line. You have to credit her for her ability to continue to get back to the line time and again. And then Anna Miller, who, the leading scorer coming into today for Drake, was held to just 6 points of her own on 1 for 17 shooting, and 4 of her 6 coming from the free throw line. Really, though, when you look at this stat sheet, it tells the story of the game is Iowa's 46 points to Drake's 10. A 13-point advantage to finish the game. But really, I think that's where, Iowa could hang their hat today, was that anytime they went inside, they were most likely getting what they wanted, especially on a day where they struggled a little bit from 3, below their numbers at 35% on 7 for 20 from 3.
All good stuff, and we will continue on our post-game report from the Knapp Center in Des Moines. Iowa 86 and Drake 73. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
Hawk fans, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel. The Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty, the area's premier realtor. Jill Armstrong and her team strive to make every buyer and seller at ease with the real estate process. If you are in the market to buy or sell a home, contact the Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty. For all your real estate needs, call 319-631-5455.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
At Mid-American Energy, our 1.6 million customers depend on our energy 24/7. That's why we work 24/7 to deliver the safe, reliable energy you need. To keep our 99.9% reliability record, we're enhancing our technology, improving resiliency, and investing in critical infrastructure. We're generating power from all available resources to cover any increases in demand. And we're innovating to ensure you always have the energy you need. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Hey Hawk fans, ready to elevate your game day experience? Introducing Daydreamer Cannabis-infused beverages. Made locally in North Liberty, Iowa, Daydreamer is your all-natural, low-calorie lifestyle beverage made with real fruit. It's light, healthy, and alcohol-free. Just what you need to keep you relaxed when the game heats up. So grab yourself a Daydreamer. Sip local and dream big. As always, enjoy responsibly. Visit us online at enjoydaydreamer.com.
You're listening to coverage of Hawkeye women's basketball, powered by the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative, empowering Hawkeyes to do energy right.
And the Hawks did a lot right this afternoon in Des Moines, defeating the Drake Bulldogs 86-73 as Iowa starts the season at 4-0 in the Jan Jensen era. U.S. Bank is a proud sponsor of the Hawkeyes. We're in it with you for the good stuff and all the hard work it takes to get there, because together there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Let's take a quick look at the scoreboard. NFL games today. The Dolphins have defeated the Raiders 34-19. Browns lose to the Saints 35-14. The Colts by 1 over the New York Jets, 28-27. Vikings winners over the Tennessee Titans 23-13. The Packers by 1 over the Bears 20-19. It was the Lions 52, the Jaguars 6. And the Rams defeated the Patriots 28-22. Steelers by 2 over the Ravens 18-16. And the Seahawks and the 49ers just underway, along with the Broncos and the Falcons. The Broncos on top 14-6. And the Chiefs 7, the Bills 6. 52 points by the Lions today, Raina.
Love to see it. Love to see it.
Wow. I mean, that NFL, that is a ton of points.
Come on now. And did I see it? Was it 52-6?
Or 7, yeah, one or the other.
All right, bringing the offense and the defense. Versus everybody.
Well, kind of like the Hawks.
You love to see it.
You got to bring both, right?
You got to. You got to.
How about the end of that second quarter? 10-0 run. Tegan Mulaney gets a banked-in 3 and another 3-point play. That just really seemed to kind of set the tone, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. I mean, just coming out, we have a lot of new faces on this team, and so they never played in this environment. And so, they're like, yeah, cool, road game. Oh, wow, sold out. And it's like, guys, this is going to be a true test for us. And so, Drake, they came out and they do what they do, right? They made a lot of threes. They took a lot of threes. And I think, once we kind of settled in that second quarter, we decided to be the more physical team and establish our presence defensively. We got out on their shooters, and to be able to hold them to 10 points in that second quarter, that was, going into halftime, I think we felt really good about that.
Yeah, no question, especially the way Drake shot the ball in the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game. It looked like they were going to make 23s or something, but then it was kind of the Addie O'Grady show to start things off.
Yeah, you know what? And every time we've played Drake, our posts have really, come alive. And that's, last year with Hannah, I thought she had a pretty good game. The year before that, I think Monica had like 37 or something like that. And so the thing is, we knew that we'd be able to get our points in the paint, but you got to kind of match the three-point shooting. One, by playing really, really good defense, so to limit their three-point opportunities. And they're going to shoot threes because that's what they do, but limit their good looks, right? They're great looks. We want to diminish that and don't let them get such great looks. Make them have to take the one more pass, and hopefully it's a fumble, or taking rhythm shots that aren't in rhythm. And so I thought our team came out and did a great job of that. But then, not only obviously we knew that Taylor McCabe was going to shoot the ball pretty well. She's been shooting it, right? I mean, 100% from the 3, but we're going to need somebody else to join that party. And so I think Lucy hit one early, and then Tegan start warming up a little bit.
And then Anna Miller was 1 for 17, and that had to be a huge factor too, and the Iowa defense had to have something to do with that.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Abby had us pretty well, ready for this scout. And Drake's been doing what they've been doing for a while, and I mean, I think we just really paid attention to their high-low and the way that she get her points, and I thought our posts, our 4s and our 5 both did a good job in the paint on her and taking away her rhythm shots outside.
24-10, as you mentioned, in that second quarter, and then every Drake run, which you knew there was going to be some, in the third and fourth quarters, especially after that timeout, and then came back on it was a 5-0 run, and then got that lead back up to 8 and then into double figures. So never really let them inside of 5 except that one time, and then obviously you had to feel pretty good the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game.
Well, I don't know.
Well,
I don't even
maybe
know
you
that,
didn't.
That we were looking at the score, and then I looked up and I said, oh, we're up at almost 20. But, I think, for our team, again, we're coming in as, we have a lot of kids that don't have that experience, but to be able to come into this environment and to run everything that we're asking them to run to a T, and for the most part, being on the road, it's being able to respond to a run, because threes are momentum givers, right, to other teams, and ones, which we gave up a few of those. And so their crowd, it's loud and they're getting into it. And so to be able to not feel defeated but go down on our end and make a play as the road team was huge, and I thought our team did a great job with that.
Yeah, Drake, at the end of the day, 18 of 63 from the floor, 28.6%, and one super performance, but then everything else probably below their average, and usually 5-on-1, you don't win if you're the one.
Yeah, I'd say, kudos to Katie Dennebeer. She had a great game. We couldn't really contain her, and she got to the free throw line a little bit more than we would like. She was
drew 13 fouls.
Yeah, that's wild. But, I think for everybody else in those matchups, we put a lot of people on her, but we also challenged our team with being able to defend different people, whether you're bigger, whether you're smaller. Taylor McCabe, she had her mismatches out there. Tegan Mulaney had her mismatches out there. And so for them to be able to understand the scout and the personnel and the strengths, and to be able to hold everybody else to under their average, I really think was the key to the game tonight.
Raina, we got 4 games here. Is that, and we've talked before, that it seems like this team, when you talk about the scouting reports and the attention to detail, they seem to be locked in.
Yeah, they're very locked in. And the one thing about a mostly new team is they don't know anything. They don't know what they don't know. And so, us as a staff, fortunately, we've all been in the Big Ten, and playing some of these teams like Drake and the rest of the Big Ten teams for quite a while now. And so we have tendencies fairly, pretty much down. And so when they're coming in, they're really focused on these three things are what we need to key in on. And they're not necessarily, they don't have registry or data from last year or previous years to even look back on. And so it's like, no, this is what she's going to do this year. And they take that to heart, and they follow the scout accordingly.
How about Lucy Olson? Just seems like she can score, obviously, at all three levels. But, boy, if you need a shot, she's somebody that can go get you one.
Yeah, three-level scorer, right? And, we talk about three-level scorers often, but she's really that. She came out early, hit a three. Obviously, if she's coming downhill with a ball screen, I think she had a few reversals at the rim. She's driving baseline and finishing on the opposite side. And then, obviously, she's known for her pull-up game. But, there was a reason. Last year, she was number 3 in the country in scoring. And so, she doesn't necessarily have to take as many shots, as she did in the past. And I think she loves that, not having to be the only option there. But when we need a bucket, call on Lucy Olson.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Or Addie O'Grady.
Yeah, for sure there. Gosh. And then double-double for her. Let's not forget about those 10 boards.
That's right. And, she's going to get 5 defensive rebounds. Period. She's down there in the paint. But to be able to chase down 5 offensive rebounds, I think that's really good for us.
Yeah, and she's shown some toughness down there, too.
When she came out at the end, she says, Coach Rainey, I'm just Big Addie right now. I said, okay,
I like
that, Big Addie. Let's go.
New nickname, right?
That's right, yeah. So she's feeling confident, and we love to see it.
Jan, smile on her face after this one?
Yeah, she's pretty happy.
Okay.
And shout out to Jan. This game is tough
as
an assistant coach, as an associate head coach, and definitely as the head coach, as you're looking to beat the team that has your jersey in the rafters. So I'm sure that was an emotional day for her and going through that. But I thought, she's a stellar head coach, and I thought she coached the team right to where they needed to be, and I'm just so happy to be working for her.
It all ends well today,
right? That's right, 4-0, baby.
All right. Enjoy the bus trip back. I know you will.
I will. Go Hawks.
Assistant Coach Raina Harmon on the postgame show. Appreciate her comments after the Hawkeyes take care of Drake 86-73. We'll head to the Iowa locker room when we come back. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
Rivalry matchups are back, and you could be there in style with the Iowa Lottery. Enter any non-winning Hawkeye Gold Scratch ticket in the VIP Club for a chance to win exclusive seats to the Iowa State matchups at Carver Hawkeye Arena. Enjoy complimentary food and beverage service, parking, and $500 in spending money as you watch the Hawks and the Cyclones battle for in-state bragging rights. Women's basketball, men's basketball, or men's wrestling. It's your choice. Check out ialottery.com/VIP for details and play today.
Woo-hoo! Did you know that UI uses the same amount of energy as all the rest of Iowa City? That's why we have our own power plant, and we're committed to making it clean. By 2025, we'll rely completely on climate-friendly, alternative fuels. Deep in the boiler rooms, engineers from the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative are optimizing the power plant so it can handle these new fuels more efficiently. Learn more about it at uiowaenergycollaborative.com. That's uiowaenergycollaborative.com.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024, U.S. Bank.
Cancer doesn't care. It doesn't care what you look like, how old you are, what you do, or where you live. We do. University of Iowa Healthcare is doing more to beat cancer than anyone in the state. From second opinions to life-saving treatments that happen here first. We lead the way in research, training, and care because we believe that UI Healthcare is here to make all of Iowa better. UI Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. Visit uihealthcare.org.
Travel Leaders Destinations Unlimited. We provide experiential travel and vacation planning for Hawkeye fans across the state. Contact one of our destination experts to start planning your next trip at duagency.com.
You don't have to go to the game to get a game program. You can download it now by visiting the game day page on HawkeyeSports.com. That's right, the game program is now digital and it's free. So check it out. Get the roster, the stats, and fascinating stories about today's matchup. Just go to HawkeyeSports.com and click on Game Day.
You're listening to coverage of Hawkeye women's basketball, powered by the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative, empowering Hawkeyes to do energy right.
Hawkeyes had a big lead of 19 with 1:57 left to go in the game, and led for 24 minutes and 32 seconds. Drake for 12:45, much of that in the first quarter. Hawks win it 86-73. Hannah Stalkey ended up with 16 points. There were 4 players in double figures for the Hawkeyes. Also contributed 7 rebounds and knocked down 6 of her 9 free throws.
Okay, Hannah, congratulations on the win. Talk a little bit about the performance in a big rivalry game. Against Drake and the in-state rival.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was an amazing game. The energy in the gym was just crazy. You could feel the tension. Addie had a great game. I'm so proud of her. Yeah, I think we all as a team played really great together.
Yeah, talk a little bit more about Addie's performance today. I mean, you see it in practice every day, and now little by little, everyone's getting to see what she's capable of. But just your thoughts on Addie's game today.
Yeah, I think her confidence is just building and building, and I think that's a key part for Addie. And nobody could stop her today. So we just kept feeding her the ball, and she kept making it.
Yeah, it's pretty simple when you put it like that. But now as you kind of move forward in your non-conference schedule, what do you feel like your team learned today about yourselves and when you can perform on this type of environment, on a road game, what that does to propel you moving forward?
Yeah, I think especially a lot of our freshmen have never played in a gym like that. So I think it was a great experience for them. I think it made us stronger as a team, especially keeping our circle tight, making sure we're talking to each other, and just staying focused on whatever coach says, especially when it's so loud, is just really important.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, Hannah, and good luck this week.
Thank you.
Catherine, thank you very much. And Hannah Stalkey, of course, with 16 and 7. Big-time praise, rightfully so, for Addie O'Grady, who had a double-double with 27 points and 10 rebounds. That's a career high. Points-wise, she was 13 of 21 from the floor and is shooting a team-best 30 of 41 from the season, from the floor this season. And in the first quarter, O'Grady was 7 for 7, which ties for third in a single quarter in program history. Hard to beat 100%. Of course, she was 100% against Virginia Tech as well. Let's head back to the Iowa locker room in a moment with the postgame interview with Jan Jensen, presented by Oak Knoll. Oak Knoll's mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through Life Care, a not-for-profit life plan community serving the Iowa City area for 57 years. Oak Knoll is conveniently located near the University of Iowa Healthcare, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, and downtown Iowa City. A proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Visit oakknoll.com to learn more.
Coach Jensen, congratulations on the win here at Drake. We got to start off talking about Addison O'Grady and that performance today.
I know. I'm so happy to see that. You know, she's has worked so hard to get to this point, and she followed up that great Virginia Tech game. You know, you're kind of like, okay, is this going to be who she is, right? And I thought she was tremendous tonight. You know, sometimes I can tell, you know, my expectations get higher and higher. So there was a couple times when I could feel like I was having Monica Sonano expectations, and that's a good thing. I mean that in the very best of senses. So I'm thrilled for her, and we knew we had the advantage inside. I wasn't so sure, you know, if she was, how she was going to feel about that, because she's never had that on her shoulders, and she answered beautifully.
Yeah, she certainly did. And, Coach, I know this is an emotional homecoming for you. It's a big game in a lot of ways. Can you just talk about the rivalry and how that felt today for you to get your first win here as a head coach?
Yeah, you know, I'm just so grateful. I mean, I was thinking about, how blessed am I to have had a part in 2 really great programs. And, you know, I got to play here, and, you know, we had most of our success when I got to coach here with Lisa and Jenny. And, you know, I really grew up at Drake, so it is a homecoming of sorts. But then when the ball tips, right, it's so many years ago. Lord have mercy. I mean, but there's still that tie, and there's a few people that you know, right? But most of the gym, you know, they don't like Iowa. And so once you tip the ball, it's just all about winning and wanting to get the win. And I so wanted it for the team. Because those guys, they're busting their tails. I really believe they're doing it, you know, trying to do it the right way. They're such great celebrators of each other. Ava Hayden said that after one of the games. And I just really love their synergy. So I was so happy that they got this win.
Yeah, and you have a quick turnaround, another game Wednesday coming right up against Kansas. What did you like today? What did you not like today that you can talk about from this game to build on and improve for a quick turnaround on Wednesday?
What I loved in this environment, we answered about every run, every one, I think. We bent when we had the lead, but we never really broke, right? And we did enough to never really feel like we were in trouble, right, in that second half. I mean, I wasn't real comfortable, but it was never like, oh, boy, like you just had to settle them, I think, a timeout or two. So I like that a lot because this was their first real road trip. Road game, because we played Tech at Charlotte, so it really wasn't a home court environment for either one of us. So I thought that was the best. I feel like we had moments of good transition defense and the moments not so great. We didn't do a really great job of sometimes being in our gaps and help side, and that's why they got so many looks. But, and I know Dennebeer went off, and usually someone in this game goes off. I don't know if it's their team, our team. Someone has crazy numbers. So, I think she's a great player. I'm a big fan of hers. I'm thankful that, she can go off, and I'm glad we got the W.
Absolutely. It was a good win here at Drake. Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Go.
Coach Jensen with Catherine Reynolds from the Iowa locker room after the Hawkeyes defeat Drake 86-73. Used that 10-0 run to close the second quarter out, in which Iowa took a 45-35 halftime advantage, and it was a very tight game, tied. Previous to that, Iowa ended up winning that second quarter 24-10. Otherwise, the other three quarters very tight. Drake actually led by 4 after 1. Also, Tegan Mullaney comes off the bench. That's a career-high 13 for her, and she was so instrumental in that run to end the second quarter, as Mullaney had 8 after the first 2 quarters, 13 for the game. Plenty of stars for the Hawkeyes. Leading the way, Addison O'Grady with 27 and 10, 16 for Stolke, 18 for Lucy Olson, 13, as we mentioned, for Tegan Mullaney, and 40 for Katie Dennebeer, a career high for her, 17 of 20 from the free throw line. We'll be back and listen in on some of the top plays from today, and also wrap things up from the Knapp Center. Hawks win it 86-73, 4-0 on the year. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
Hey Hawk fans, ready to elevate your game day experience? Introducing Daydreamer Cannabis Infused Beverages. Made locally in North Liberty, Iowa, Daydreamer is your all-natural, low-calorie lifestyle beverage made with real fruit. It's light, healthy, and alcohol-free. Just what you need to keep you relaxed when the game heats up. So grab yourself a Daydreamer. Sip local and dream big. As always, enjoy responsibly. Visit us online at enjoydaydreamer.com.
Honda's biggest event is back. Happy Honda Days are here with our best savings of the year. All remaining 24s must go. Save thousands with 1.9% financing. Award-winning Honda cars, SUVs, trucks, vans, hybrids, and EVs are all in stock, like the 2024 Honda Accord, now with low 1.9% APR financing. Do not miss it. To have Happy Honda Days, search your local Honda dealer. See dealer for financing details. For well-qualified buyers. Offer ends 1/2/25.
Treat yourself to one of our award-winning entrees at the Machine Shed. Come get your hands around one of our famous pork tenderloins, our most popular sandwich, served either deep-fried golden brown or unbreaded and grilled. Or try our roasted stuffed Iowa chop that is stuffed with a warm apple raisin dressing and glazed with an apple whiskey sauce. Trust me, you won't regret it. This is Jeff Grunder, and we can't wait to have you over for dinner at the Machine Shed.
I-80 and Hickman Road, Urbandale, and I-80 and Northwest Boulevard, Davenport.
Hawkeye fans, get ready for the game with Big Grove. As an official craft brewery of the Iowa Hawkeyes, we're excited to bring you the ultimate game-watching experience. Enjoy fan favorites like Easy Eddie and Citrus Surfer while cheering on the Hawks. Can't make it to Carver? Join us at any of our 4 Iowa locations in Iowa City, Cedar Rapids, Des Moines, and Solon, where you can get out of the cold and enjoy warm hospitality while watching the game. Big Grove Brewery, your official watch party headquarters of the Iowa Hawkeyes all season long. Go Hawks!
You're listening to coverage of Hawkeye women's basketball, powered by the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative, empowering Hawkeyes to do energy right.
86-73, the Hawkeyes win it and now have defeated Drake 20 on out of the last 21 games. And Iowa now leads the series 31-25. Start 4-0 in the Jan Jensen era. The Bulldogs fall to 2-2, and they have Iowa State coming up on the 24th. Iowa will take on Kansas in Sioux Falls on Wednesday night. More about that after we listen in on some of tonight's top plays. Now into the corner. Jumper is up and no good. Fulter missed it, but there's the rebound and putback by Addie O'Grady, who has 10. Remember, she was 9 for 9 from the floor. Career high 18 points against Virginia Tech. As the Hawkeyes with Stuelke secure the rebound. Down court. Inside, O'Grady again lays it up and in over Taylor after the nice entry pass by Sydney Fulter. Drake by 3, Hawkeyes with the basketball. Olsen gets it back from Stuelke on the right side, fires a three-pointer and drills it off the dribble. Feuerbach on the left side, free throw line extended. Now drives baseline all the way to the rim. Layup good by Kylie Feuerbach, right hand on the left side. Hawks on a nice push here to end the second quarter. 42-35. Tegan Mulaney will shoot a 3 left side, drills it. Tegan Mulaney lighting it up the last 2 trips. Is underneath, and here's a backcourt steal by Olsen. She's doubled, somehow gets out of that traffic and gets it to Kylie Feuerbach. Reverses it to McCabe. Now Mulaney on the baseline goes up, power move, and finishes, and is fouled. Hawks with a 7-point advantage. We're under 4, third quarter. Olsen across the timeline. Now McCabe on the left wing. Top of the key. Stuelke drives down the right side. Layup good, and a whistle. 1:35 left to go. 3-pointers straight away. Count it for Taylor McCabe. And here's a steal in the backcourt by a Fulter. Mulaney 3, banked it in, left to the top of the key. How about that?
You gotta love it when the bank is open on Sunday, Rob.
Inside-outside game, 3-pointer up and no good by Daly from the left wing. Loose ball dug up by a Fulter. Down court to Olsen. Lob inside to O'Grady. Left-handed layup is good, and she's fouled from behind. 8 to shoot. Now you can start hunting for a shot, and Olsen in between the circles, uses an O'Grady screen. Step back, 18-footer at the buzzer. Count it, Lucy Olsen. Lucy Olsen can score at all 3 levels, and certainly demonstrated that tonight, especially that mid-range game, and then her ability to get to the rim. The Hawkeyes defeat Drake 86-73, 4-0 to start the season. Catherine, now another neutral site game against a Big 12 opponent in the Kansas Jayhawks, and a new arena that Iowa has not played in, the Pentagon up in Sioux Falls. The men's team has been up there several times, heard great things about it, and we'll be up there on Wednesday to see if the Hawks can go 5-0.
Yeah, exactly. Like you say, and the Pentagon, kind of a historic and really cool venue that I think this team should be excited to be playing in. You know, just hosted the Nebraska women yesterday, so the Big Ten is welcome there in Sioux Falls. But, you know, Kansas is probably an opponent that the team doesn't know a whole lot about. Coming from the Big 12, not a conference that traditionally we play against a whole lot. You know, it was Kansas State a couple years ago, some kind of one-off games, Iowa State obviously, but generally speaking, Big 12 not a conference that Iowa is exposed to a ton. So I would guess that tomorrow and Tuesday in preparation, a lot of it will be just getting familiarized with what Kansas brings to the table, their style of play, how they like to defend, all those types of things, and then knowing that it will be another atmosphere that, you know, likely will be Iowa Hawkeye fan heavy, and although it will be a road game, will maybe feel a little bit more friendly than it did here today in the Knapp Center.
Well, the Hawkeyes continue to be tested early going. Of course, the game against Virginia Tech here at Drake this afternoon, and the Kansas Jayhawks on Wednesday. That is a 6 o'clock tip, so we will be on the air with you at 5:30 along the Hawkeye Radio Network. Well, that'll wrap up our postgame show and our coverage of this Iowa victory over Drake this afternoon. The Hawks move to 4-0. The Bulldogs fall to 2-2 after Iowa defeats Drake 86-73 behind a career-high 27 from Addie O'Grady. Also contributed 10 rebounds. For Catherine Reynolds, I'm Rob Brooks. Good night from the Knapp Center in Des Moines.
Hawkeye basketball has been brought to you by Hy-Vee. Score big savings with a Hy-Vee Perks membership. University of Iowa Healthcare. Changing medicine, changing lives. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Honda. To see how Honda crushes the competition, see your local Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest. And by Iowa Lottery. Be a VIP with the Iowa Lottery. Visit ialottery.com for details. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network.